Hello everyone, welcome back to Star Trek Club. 'Tis I, Captain Logan, and look, it's Brandon Grimm.
Hello everyone.
And Adam Meredith.
Whoa.
And you have joined the No Star Trek Zone, or No Star Wars Zone.
No Star Wars Zone.
Just No Star Trek for you guys. So,
hey, I've got a shirt that says live long and prosper.
Cool. Thanks for explaining that to people that are only listening and have decided not to actually watch us, which makes sense on a show where we do commentaries. So, we are late. We apologize. I'm having to use the new YouTube software. It let me use the old software up until today. Like, I did a live show last night with the old software, and it was buggy a couple weeks ago, which is why I haven't been using it, and so luckily people can actually see us. But anyway, we were broadcasting, we thought, a minute ago, and it turns out that there's actually this nice, nifty preview feature that I thought was us actually broadcasting. So now that I know what I'm doing and that there's an extra live button I have to press, we can actually, you guys can see us, and we can actually do Star Trek Club. Okay, so let's go back through all the stuff that we went through that nobody else saw but us. So first of all, we're going to spin the wheel pretty soon to find out what our first episode is for watching this evening. If you've never joined the show before, we're going to watch some Star Trek. We're going to do some trivia. We're going to watch some Star Trek and possibly do some more trivia. It's a little bit redundant, but I think you're going to like it. So we got some Super Chats right away. People putting some stuff on the wheel. Matthew Base, $2 Super Chat, asked for Hard Time from D Space Nine. So thanks a lot to you, and that's a pretty good episode. Tom, $5 Super Chat. Thanks for the Super Chat, but not so much for the episode selection. He asked for the 37s. And
is that a serious pick or a joke pick, I wonder?
Well, Tom's been asking for lots of Voyager I don't like. So knowing Tom, I'm going to assume that his tastes are simply different than mine, and I perfectly respect that. And also, I like that you're not only picking things that are terrible to you, but things that you are going to enjoy that we won't, because that's the only way they would get on the board. So anyway, he also asked a question accompanying his Super Chat, so let's answer it, shall we? What is your favorite historical guest person and least favorite historical guest person in Star Trek episodes? I always look forward to Trek Club. Engage. Thanks again, Tom. Cool question. This is great. Hey, Adam, is your favorite Abraham Lincoln?
That's a good one. So are we considering historical to the characters on the show, not necessarily, or actual historical characters?
Since he picked the 37s, I'm going to assume he means like real life people that were portrayed in Star Trek, and there's a pretty good number of those anyway. That doesn't limit us too much. Like a lot of people like to pick Stephen Hawking, who actually portrayed himself. Like there's actually quite a few.
Yeah, I like Lincoln. Da Vinci, I enjoyed. The hologram of Da Vinci, I guess.
I like that guy's portrayal more than I like his episode. Like when he just shows up in other episodes, it's better. Like he's in Scorpion, he's fine there. But is it Scorpion or is it before that? I forget. But anyway,
Scorpion. That's the first one he shows up in.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's a small appearance, but Sir Isaac Newton, when he shows up in that Voyager episode, I like the fact that they brought him back. But I would also have to say that,
oh yeah, no, that's fun. Yeah, good call. You're talking about Death Wish.
Yeah. When they pull him from history, Q pulls.
But he
him
also
from history.
shows up as a hologram in the Stephen Hawking episode.
I thought that's what you were talking about. And I didn't think he got enough to do right then. But
he was.
Yeah, but that's a great choice.
But there's also. I'm going to say also historically from fiction, I'm going to say Moriarty. That is one of my favorite portrayals of anyone, fictitious or otherwise, but still from history.
Yeah, I mean, you're cheating to get there, but that's fine.
Yeah, but I chose Isaac Newton first.
I think I'm going to pick Lincoln because that guy gave, like, a really believable performance for that character. Like oddly, if you had made, like, a Lincoln biopic right then, that would have been the guy, like just for performance alone. And as much as I don't care for the episode, I'm also going to throw Mark Twain in there because I think that guy's fantastic. Forget how I might feel about Times Arrow, which was one of the first episodes we did here on the show.
Yeah.
But that guy doing Sam Clemens is great. Matthew Base says Amelia Earhart. I mean, she's fine. She just doesn't. It almost doesn't matter that she's there, which is so weird about it. Like when you go back to that episode, it kind of abandons that premise very quickly. Where she's just kind of around.
As far as his least favorite,
I guess we have to do that. Yeah.
I'm I'm not coming up with anything in
that's just egregiously bad.
Yeah, as far as historical figures, but there's probably some things I haven't seen. I get, yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I can't think of anything totally awful off the top of my head.
Like I would probably pick the 37s as like not a great episode for that sort of thing, but like that actress is fine.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not immediately coming up with anybody where I'm just like, oh god, that was really horrible. Nothing's coming to me.
So, yeah. Just some like real Earth historical figure, and it's not.
Which is kind of impressive. Like as cartoony as it is, I even like the guy who plays what's his name in Phantasms, Sigmund Freud.
Oh, Freud.
Sigmund Freud, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that Freud too.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. I hadn't even considered that one.
That just occurred to me, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Thanks a lot for the super chats, guys. And if anybody else would like to put something on the board, on the wheel anytime this evening, feel free to throw in a super chat in any dollar amount. And you can do just what Tom did, too. And you can also include some kind of discussion topic, and we will happily chat with you a little bit about whatever you want us to do regarding Star Trek. Not Star Wars, though. That's not what we're doing this evening. I do Star Wars content, but not on this show. Okay, here we go. So, let's go ahead and spin the wheel and find out what we end up with. And it's spinning, Adam.
What are we landing on?
Looks like one of Brandon's favorites.
Fistful of Datas.
Brandon's excited.
They came up last week. I mentioned it.
Yeah, that is an episode that I've only seen like once or twice. I haven't even seen that a fistful of times.
That's pretty funny.
Only once or twice, yeah. So this is going to be a lot of me just sitting back and enjoying that episode, probably. I don't know that one super well. I remember Durango. Is it Durango?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember some things about it, but and that's Patrick Stewart's first directing job on TNG.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He directed some of the more fun comedy episodes. That one in Phantasms.
He told a funny story about that, the cast members told a funny story about that episode. Like, there's a prior episode where they had used some kind of theater smoke or something in the episode, and they were concerned about how much they were using. Like, was it safe and stuff? So Patrick Stewart went and talked to the crew for them and stuff to try to get into the union. And then when it came time to direct the episode, he kept going, more smoke, more for the bar and stuff.
Patrick Stewart had that problem a lot, I guess, where he just couldn't get enough of what he wanted on screen at one time, because there's also that story he tells about all the cakes that he had to get for Phantasms, because they were trying to make that cake as big on screen as they can. It just never looked impressive enough to him. So apparently he had like a page or an 8 or something go out into Hollywood and buy as much cake as they could humanly find in like a couple of hours.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, that's a great story. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some Standard Replicator, guys. If you've not played with this before, I'm going to think of something that has to do with Star Trek in my captive little brain. We're going to go round robin, and everybody's going to ask me yes or no questions. And you guys collectively, as a group, watching at home, are going to get a turn yourselves. So feel free to throw in questions.
Play the at-home game.
Go ahead and throw in questions related to what has been asked so far, so make sure that you're paying attention and that you know where we are. Okay, so I am thinking of something that has to do with Star Trek. We're going to start with Adam.
That's surprising, Cap.
What's that?
That I'm
thinking of something.
Yeah.
Did you think I was going to do the production thing again? Because I will do that again at some point.
That was actually a fun
pulling teeth to get you guys to say Vasquez Rock. Okay, go ahead, Adam.
Is it alive?
It is not alive. And we're off to the races.
Is it technology?
It is indeed technology. Now, that's not going to help Brandon because he doesn't know what that word means.
Apparently.
But,
yeah.
Adam, why don't you go ahead and ask another question while we're waiting on the folks at home. We'll get them started here. Oh, hold on. Cinematographic. Is it a phaser bank? No. What an odd first guess. Adam, go ahead.
A phaser bank.
That's a phaser diode. Get it right.
Phasers when you're not using them, you know. Is it in more than one series?
Is it in more than one series? No, it's not.
Is it in TNG?
It is in TNG. Anybody at home? Is anybody in there? Let's go back to Adam. Go ahead.
Is this a unique item?
It is, yeah.
Do we see it multiple times?
We do not see it multiple times. The Day Ghost, hi, Austin. Austin just did a commentary with me last night on Terminator 2. That was really fun. Is it a ship? It is indeed a ship. Yes, it is.
Ooh, which is technology.
That is technology, Brandon, yeah. Brandon says you wouldn't call a ship technology, but I would. Okay, go ahead.
Is it a Federation ship?
It is. It is a Federation ship.
Is this Federation ship, is it classified?
No, that's an interesting question. No, I do not believe that this ship is classified. I got some good questions here. Well, JDF, is it bigger than Worf? By definition, being a starship, it is indeed bigger than Worf. Jason wants to know if it's in Enter for a Prize. That means Enterprise. No, it's not an Enterprise.
We've already narrowed it down to TNG.
Yeah, we did.
And we said it was only in one episode, correct?
Yeah.
We only saw it once.
One episode, TNG, okay. Federation Starship.
Not classified.
Not classified, as far as I know.
All right, let me think here. Let's see. Is this ship? Is it large? Is it small enough to go inside another ship? Like the shuttle bay of the Enterprise, for example.
Wow. I honestly don't remember the size of it. I would assume it's bigger than that. I would assume it's bigger than that. I could certainly be wrong about that. I'd say I am 85% sure it would not fit inside the D.
Okay.
I am, and especially a shuttle bay. Yeah, go ahead.
So,
but I'll help you with the size insofar as saying it's definitely not any bigger than the D, and it's probably quite a bit smaller.
Right.
So, in the episode in which this ship appears, is a major plot point a spatial anomaly?
A spatial anomaly? No.
Okay. Well,
no.
That rules out a few things.
Fat Wombat 79, was it destroyed? And welcome. I don't recognize that name.
You say Fat Wombat?
Fat Wombat 79. Was it destroyed? It is, if recollection serves, destroyed. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Let me think here. Is this a ship that the prior crew we go to and they're all dead?
For all intents and purposes, yes.
Okay.
So
I should say for the most part, yes. Brandon.
For the most part.
Good question.
Is this second season?
This is not second season, no.
So that rules out the ship of the people who geriatricked really fast.
Some folks asking things that we've already ruled out. This is just a TNG thing, so it can't be Defiant. It can't be Enterprise B. Jason, is it a Cinematographic? Is it Oberth class? I'm pretty sure it's not. Jason, because I forget what Oberth is, but I don't think it's that.
It's like the Grissom from Search for Spock.
Okay, then it's not that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what class it is, but is it a ship that someone from the Enterprise has been on before? Not before that episode, no.
Let me think here.
No, Austin, it's not in the first 11 episodes, okay? That's all he knows. That's all he's seen. He calls himself a Star Trek expert. He's seen the 11 episodes of TNG. Go ahead.
Well, that and not being Oberth class rules out the SS Teokovsky, which was their.
I would not have asked that. For the record,
that was pretty obscure.
For the record, I would not have asked that. All right, go ahead.
I'm thinking here.
We can see that.
Those people weren't dead, so that's not good.
You're gonna get it. You're totally gonna get it.
Okay. I'm trying to think of. It's smaller, but not small enough to be a shuttlecraft.
It's definitely not a shuttlecraft.
Okay. And
Austin, I'm an expert. I got that it was a ship.
The people, for all intents and purposes, are dead.
Yes.
Does this appear in the 4th season?
It's 4th or 5th. It's in there somewhere.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not until 5, but it might be 4.
Okay.
I'm honestly forgetting. I would have to look it up, and I'm not going to do that. Go ahead, Brandon.
It's Federation.
It's middle of the show somewhere.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, I will look it up just to be sure. Brandon.
Is it a Starship?
Yeah. But we said it was. I said earlier it's a Federation Starship.
Oh, it is.
We have that.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. It's 6. It's always later than I remember it. It's
Okay.
season 6.
I thought we just said it was a Federation ship. I didn't realize we said Starship. But
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
smaller
I
than
gave
the
you
D.
that toward the beginning.
That's right. Okay, it's smaller than the D. It is a Starship. So I guess to ask a question that hadn't already been asked, is it contemporary of the D?
No, that's an important question. Do you have a guess?
No.
Do you have a
I
guess,
have
sir?
guessed.
Quite yet.
Because Adam's going to get it if you don't have it.
Well, they're not dead. So I don't
Matthew,
know.
it is not the Pegasus. And that is classified, and that is season 7.
Yeah.
Is it the Bozeman?
It is not the Bozeman.
See, I asked if it was related
they're
to a
not dead,
spatial
so that
anomaly
would-
in the
yeah.
episode.
It is not the Bozeman.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
he ruled
true.
that out
That's
earlier. That's true. Man, I thought you had it. All right, we'll do one more round. Brandon? Oh, I'm going to be excited if I stump you guys on this because you're all over it, and it would not be an unfair stump. It would just be you guys not quite being there, and that would be very exciting to me.
Is it...
I threw you off with my no Star Wars shirt. Yeah.
Wait a second.
No.
Wait a second.
I almost spit hard
it-
seltzer at you.
Is it Scotty's ship at the Dyson Sphere? Oh, what the hell is the name of it?
Oh, look at that.
You don't get the point if you can't throw
Oh,
out
I
the name,
know it.
son.
I know it.
It's the... Oh, Adam, what is it?
The Genolan.
The USS Janolan.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes!
That is not an old birth class. You're
I didn't.
right.
I was pretty sure it
What
wasn't.
the-
Yeah.
What that is a kit-bashed shuttlecraft model that they glued some engines on the back.
That's not
Yeah.
surprising at all. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys decide. Do you want to go right on to the first episode, or do you want to do today's quiz first?
I vote quiz.
Quiz.
Okay, we're gonna do the quiz first. Here we go. Today we're gonna do something we've not done in club yet before, at least in this club. We're gonna do a picture quiz, and everybody get out something to type on or something to write on. And we're gonna do this the way we have been lately. By the way, a lot of the quizzes we've been doing are things that used to be games in Star Trek Club, but since I only have 2 live players, it's kind of harder to do it that way. And no offense, but not fair to Brandon really, because Adam's knowledge is a little, beyond Brandon. So
Hey, I learned stuff.
oh no,
along the
absolutely.
way.
It's not fair to have you guys go head to head every time. Adam's gonna win a lot. You know what I mean? Like I would knowing that I only have the 2 of you, I would have to constantly write for Brandon, and that's not fair to anybody. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up the slideshow here.
Stand behind the line like they did Dr. Bashir.
Now
my
I had
cat.
to kind of rush this one out, so hopefully I remember all the episode titles because I didn't have a chance to write them in here. I'm pretty sure I know them all. It may take me a second to get to some of them, but anyway,
I know the episode titles. If it's going to be episode titles, it's going to be hard.
this is going to be episode titles, and it's not going to be multiple choice. So it may be one of the tougher things we've done so far, although some of these I think are going to be pretty easy for you guys, but we'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll see how you do. So everybody get ready to write down your answers. You're going to grade your own papers, and remember, as always, cheating in Star Trek Club is stupid. Now, I want to make sure that folks are not writing their answers in the live chat as we go. There's always at least 1 or 2 people that forget this and start
Even
writing all
after
their...
you say it, there's always 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, so please don't do that. Let everybody get to try to play for themselves at home. So here comes Set Photos to Stun. Set Photos
I love a
to
good
Stun.
pun.
And let's go ahead and get right into it. Here is our first picture question, and there's going to be a clue accompanying each of these to make it a little bit easier, okay? Here is our first one. Our first clue is not well liked. Whatever this comes from is not well liked.
I can hardly tell what's going on in the picture, on the little picture there. Can I look at that screen, or is the answer on that screen?
No, the answer's not on that screen.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's bigger. I can see it. Goodness. Okay.
Looks like I bunched up too many like things together. I'm going to skip around a minute. Our next clue is... I'll just let them be bunched up. It's cool. Okay, all the movies are together, mostly. These are assassins. That's your clue for this one. These are assassins. An extra bonus clue. This is a movie. The first one was also a movie.
So that's what was confusing me on the first one, is I didn't realize you were going movies too.
Okay. Here's our next one. Uhura is doing something illegal. And then here's our last movie question for a while. Whatever screenshot this is early in the story. And now working our way backwards, we'll get into some Enterprise. The clue here is part 2.
Oh, God.
Well, I know who that is, but not that episode.
I remember the name of it, but I'm not 100%. It's a dumb name, I think. It's really generic.
It's really generic, yep.
correctly.
And also, that episode makes no sense. It's one of the most incoherent Star Trek episodes ever. I have no idea what's going on in that. And it got a novel, which is hilarious. I wonder if it makes more sense in that form. The title for this episode is not a complete word.
I know what this episode is. It's not a complete word.
It's not a complete word. The sound of Adam grunting is like music to my ears. I love that sound. All right, next up. Although I'm never all that impressed with myself for something Adam on Enterprise, because that's Adam's big weak spot. Mashed potatoes is the clue for this slide. Mashed potatoes.
Well, I hope I got that one.
And now we'll get into some Voyager. Your clue here is an episode that introduced recurring characters.
I'm trying to see what that is. I think I know what this is.
I don't think it's...
Adam, I'm going to try to share this other screen for you for right now to make it easier for you to see.
Okay. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah.
All right, next up. Your clue is first appearance.
Oh. Dang. I don't know.
And then our next clue is Herosian.
Shoot. I'm going to hear these titles and I'm going to be like, of course.
And as always, like, I'm putting this together thinking, wow, these are too easy. And then I throw these up and all I hear is like, God, what are you doing?
Episode titles, weak point on my radar.
Your next clue is fake.
We watched it some weeks back.
Well, we might have. Yeah, we might have. We're in DS9 now.
Shoot.
Your clue here is Cardassian Psycho.
I know the episode, not the title.
Oh my gosh. What is it called? It's a weird
make
name.
A guess. That's wrong, but it's might be funny.
I'll give you multiple choice on this game next time we do it. I started writing it that way and I thought it was too easy. Now I'm wishing I had done that. All right. Next up, historical imposter. And now for some TNG. Your clue here is LaForge remain below.
Oh. Yes, I know who said that. What is the name of that episode?
I thought I might have gotten you with that.
What is the name of that episode?
You should know it.
I should.
You should know that.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm failing at that. You know what it is, right, Adam?
Yes. Mr. J talks about every Star Trek.
I do. Every time. Well, I had to throw in some easy ones.
Yeah, but why can't I remember the name of it?
I don't know. That just means that regardless of the fact that Adam's sick of how often I talk about that, I'm not talking about it nearly enough.
Yeah.
Our last TNG one, here's your clue. Guy on the left is not Sung. Both characters got action figures.
Oh, that's
Well, don't say it out loud.
No, I'm not gonna. Better be that one.
Looks like there's going to be a little bit more TNG here in a little bit. Here's some TOS, though. One of many clouds.
Can't say that word on this show.
That's right. You can't say Star Wars. Okay, next clue. Doohan voiced the guy on the right's father.
That's got to be that person. I think that's this episode.
And next clue. Growing pain. I love that guy's expression. It's the best.
I am Dr. Van Gelder. That guy.
Okay, time for a little more TNG. Looks like I might have done 21 questions for some reason, but that's okay. I had to throw this together while I was taking care of my 2-year-old, and he was being particularly rambunctious. So I slapped this together. Domestic dispute. You know,
I think I do.
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt.
Look closely, Brandon.
Look very closely.
In the photo, Brandon.
I think I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing, but like I can't.
It's like one of those highlights magazines thing. What's wrong with this photo?
Right. Exactly. Look very closely, Brandon. That's hilarious. If ever I want to take a memory lane back to the or go on memory lane back to the 90s, all I've got to do is hang out with Adam. Do you remember highlights? And then
I used to get highlights.
And then our last one is time is a companion.
Time is the fire in which we burn.
In which we burn.
Alright.
Okay, let me check the comments
I got some of those.
real quick and see if everybody's still with us.
Like 3, I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, thanks for watching with us, guys. All right, so I'm going to bring this back up, and let's go through them. Like I said, I didn't actually write out a answer key, so hopefully I remember all these, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I do. Here we go. Not well liked. Do you have it, Brandon?
I said Nemesis.
It is Nemesis. That's the opening scene.
Radiation, right?
That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I was looking at that. I was like, I swear this is Nemesis, but he said episode titles, and not thinking, like names of movies. And I was like, when you said that, I was like, well, duh.
And I realized I
Nemesis.
forgot to tell you I was going to throw some movies in there too.
No, it's cool, but like, duh, it's Nemesis. Yeah.
These are assassins.
Undiscovered Country.
Yeah. Undiscovered Country. Adam, where is Uhura doing something illegal?
Search for Spock.
Search for Spock. That's
I
right.
got that one too. I was like, which one is this? I know which one it is.
Only place where Spock wears that.
The motion picture.
Motion picture.
Oh, of course. I said Voyage Home. Whoops. Stupid me.
He wears a different thing in Voyage Home.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another Vulcan thing. It looks like a bathrobe.
And there wouldn't be a place in Voyage Home to have like Vulcan script on the computer.
I didn't remember.
Yeah. Did you have
Crewman Daniels?
Yeah, that's Crewman Daniels.
I don't know that.
Do you have the title?
Is it Shockwave?
Shockwave. That's it.
Okay.
Yep, that's the cliffhanger between 1 and 2. This is from season 3.
I think I know it, but I'm not 100% sure.
What is it? What do you think it is?
E squared.
E squared is right.
Like
yeah,
that?
that's what we were looking for. Yes, indeed. Brandon, did you remember mashed potatoes?
Is it Shuttlepod 1?
Shuttlepod 1. That's
it was between Shuttlepod 1 and Friendship 1, and I think it's Shuttlepod
Friendship
1.
1 is Voyager.
Yeah. That's what, but I was like, it's one of the ones.
Mashed potatoes.
Shuttlepod 1.
Okay, another Voyager episode introduced recurring characters.
Is that the Icheb?
Mm-hmm.
See, I couldn't remember the name of that, so I wrote Scorpion, which I knew was wrong.
What is it, Adam?
Collective.
That's right.
Oh.
This one is the one I don't remember. The next one.
And then what was the first
I can't
appearance
remember
of Lon Suitor?
Whatever that was.
Could not remember the name of that episode.
Meld.
He's literally melding.
That's the problem with
the
Voyager
picture.
is like they have the most generically bland episode titles.
Yes, they do.
One word.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
When I think of Lon Suitor, that's the picture I have of Lon Suitor in my head, like from that episode. Like, it's great.
That's also true of the internet. Yeah, if you look up that episode title, you'll just see that
like
picture,
that
like walled. Yeah, Corrosion.
Could not remember the name of this episode.
It's going to be one of 2. We're looking for Hunters.
Hunters.
Followed up by Prey.
The other one.
Hunter of Toss.
That's another thing where they're so...
Toss and Hunter of Toss.
Yeah.
It's a fake.
Couldn't remember the name of that episode.
Adam knows it.
In the Pale Moonlight.
In the Pale
Oh,
Moonlight.
that is in the Pale Moonlight.
Brandon Cheese.
Did you remember this one, Adam?
I don't know. I wrote something crazy, but I don't think it's right. I wrote like Between the Darkness and the Light.
That's it.
Or something like that.
That's it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
oh my god.
It's not between though. It's just the darkness and the light. That's the name of that title.
I wrote the Shadows.
Nope. I mean, that's a perfectly reasonable guess.
Right.
And an episode they may have done. That's not a Star Trek episode at all, though. Historical Imposter. Did you remember this one?
Nope.
Yes.
Gabriel Bell. It's past tense.
Bell.
Past tense. Brandon LaForge, Remain Below.
Cannot remember the name of this episode. Like Broinghoff Rasmussen.
It's a matter of time.
A matter of time, of course it is.
Matter of
I
time.
kept thinking Time's Arrow, but I know Time's Arrow, and it's not Time's
Well,
Arrow.
what was this one, Brandon?
Encounter at Farpoint.
That's Farpoint. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's McCoy on the left.
Yep. And when you said he got his action figure, I was like, yep, I've seen that action figure for sure.
One of many clouds.
I know this episode, but not the title.
Do you know it, Adam?
It's Obsession.
That is Obsession. Yep.
Look, they're carrying that bowling ball on that thing there.
Yeah, the guy on the right is the guy who hesitates and has the same arc that Kirk goes through.
Yeah.
We watched that one too, somewhat.
Not in Club here though. Not for
Did
this.
I watch it with you?
I don't
Just
remember.
alone?
I've not seen Obsession in a long time.
That may have been the episode that came on the TV, and I just sat and watched it.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because that's a thing I do.
Hey, Brandon, you seem to know this one.
I wanted to say Squire of Gothos.
Squire of Gothos is right.
Good.
Yeah.
Is that Trelane?
Yep, that's Trelane.
Awesome. I totally got it.
Good job, man. Now, would you have known it without the clue?
I recognized
clue
the
help at all, or
costume.
the costume, yeah.
I had no idea that Doohan voiced his father.
Yeah. The lights in the sky at the end.
There's
Doohan.
another person. The mother, she played a character later on in TOS.
I've not actually
Do
seen
you remember the
Squire of
episode
Gothos.
where Kirk gets sped up real fast?
Yeah.
Wink of an
Wink
eye.
of an
Not
eye,
blink
that's
of an
what-
eye,
yeah.
Wink of an eye. She's the lady in that episode. That's
Okay.
Trelane's mother. Yeah.
Growing pain.
No idea.
Dagger of the Mind.
Dagger of the Mind. That's right. Domestic dispute.
His brothers.
No.
And what is it?
In theory.
Who's he disputing with? That's what I can't remember.
With the girl that he was trying to date.
You
See,
don't know.
that's what I kept going back and forth. I was like, I remember him like something, and I just couldn't put it together.
That's why the clue was domestic. He never lived with his brother.
No, but I was just thinking, like relatives, family.
Scavenger hunt. Look very closely, Brandon.
Is it Shades of Grey?
No.
What is it?
Who is that?
It's Thomas Riker,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Second chances.
Second chances. I was like, I thought it was Thomas Riker.
Okay, well, you have to know this. You have to know this, Brandon.
Generations.
That's Generations, yeah.
Of
Yes,
course.
indeed.
It's all smashed.
Well, how'd you guys do?
So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7.
I
Well,
missed
that's not
one.
terrible.
I mean, it's better than I
missed
thought I
the-
was going
Those
to do.
those ended
honestly.
up being tougher than I thought. When I gave Adam pause, I was like, oh crap, I should have made this multiple choice.
Yeah, but hey, I am appreciative
Adam,
of
I
what
think,
got.
probably got at least 75%. He got at least a C
I
on
missed
this.
one.
You only missed one?
Which
Holy
one?
crap.
Yes, and I almost missed two, but I remembered E squared right at the last minute, like right before we started doing it. I was like, oh, that's what it was, because you said it wasn't a real title, or like word. That clued me in. Like,
Austin, was it
wasn't an actual-
Farpoint that you got? Austin said he got one. Was it Farpoint?
Better have been first 11 episodes.
But yeah, folks, let us know in the comments if you played
But
along
what
with
has
us,
he
how well
seen?
you did.
He's a Star Trek expert.
Which one did you miss, Adam?
I missed Meld.
Oh, yeah.
Mel, yeah, because he mentioned that while we were
That's right.
going, yeah. Okay,
And
guys,
I just guessed on that. The crazy Cardassian.
do you guys want to take a quick break, or do you want to jump right in the episode?
I'm cool with
Let's
either.
take like a 2-minute break here.
Okay, cool. That sounds good with me as well. Okay, we shall do that. We'll see you guys in just a minute.
Two blasts
If
of the phaser.
if anybody happens to pop up, just let them know that we're coming back. We're definitely coming back. All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
No, I'm put.
Captain's logs.
Okay, folks, we're back. Hello, Adam.
Hello.
It's time to watch A Fistful of Datas. It's episode 8 of season 6. So go ahead and get it rigged up on your Netflix, your Blu-rays, however you're planning on watching it. Get it to timestamp 0 and get ready to press play as soon as I say now. I hope everybody is pretty well set. Adam, you good?
Yeah, I can't see you, or I can see like a thumbnail of the live stream.
Yeah, just give me a second. I gotta flip it back to... I had you flip to the first screen from the quiz.
There we go.
All right, man.
All right.
Let's get started. Here we go. Once again, welcome everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's time to watch an episode that I honestly don't know that well. So it'll be fun to revisit it. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. So, Brandon, I forget, was this on your top 10?
It may have been. I honestly don't remember, but it's definitely up there.
I feel like ever since then, it keeps coming up as an episode that you like a lot.
Mozart.
Yeah. Oh, there's the flute.
Yeah, I always think of the flute only coming back in lessons, but I guess that's not true.
Yeah.
And this would have been even closer to that episode, because that was what? Toward the end of 5?
That was the second to last episode of 5.
5, yeah, okay. Busted Sim, we are watching Fistful of Datas. It's season 6, episode 8 of TNG.
And of course, the title of this episode is a play on Sergio Leone's A Fistful of Dollars.
Dollars, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is during that weird short period where Geordi had a beard.
Oh, yeah. A beard, Geordi.
He has that for like a couple of consecutive episodes, I think, maybe.
Did you damage your face? That was Jada. That
It
was
looks okay, I guess. Tom, he's in gray because he's not wearing his jacket. So this is during that period. We started it with Darmok, and it keeps coming back where instead of a regular uniform shirt, he has that, and then over top of it is a red jacket that he can have like unzipped and open, which he does quite a bit on the bridge.
Similar to Kirk had a similar thing in the movies, kind of a jacket that he'd wear and stuff that would snap up on the front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wonder if they were probably thinking of that when they did that.
Yeah, give him something. I mean, of course, and even going back to the original series, Kirk had a special tunic. You know, it's like the captains get their own.
I like how
thing and stuff.
I like how informal Beverly is in this scene with Picard when she just comes in and like sits on the edge of a couch. We're in that period where more and more they're kind of messing with us a little bit, making us think that maybe they'll finally put them together and start in like allow a status quo where that's going on for multiple episodes. And of course we never get there, and we flirt with it in the finale like we do with Worf and Troy. But we've got places where we pretend like maybe we're going to go there and then we're just too afraid to mess with status quo, like Attached.
Yeah.
TNG always had a really great sense of continuity. We just didn't like to do too much more than like small callbacks, so that you didn't have to watch things in order, and follow-ups where sometimes you did need the previous an episode from a season or two ago, but it usually caught you up okay, like
I think the
Reunion
biggest
to Redemption and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Worf stuff would probably be the biggest example of continuity in TNG with that callbacks.
Boy, if I had $1 for every time there was a Picard-Worf scene about whether or not Picard was going to let Worf go on leave. Like, there's a weird number of those.
I like the Starbase picture behind there, next to in between the consoles on the wall.
That was great.
What do you think those Elcar's consoles do anyway? They're very specifically like...
I can't imagine, because I don't think you can relegate your own like temperature in your quarters or anything like that. It seems like the ship has like a temperature.
Well, but you can though, because Deanna Troi does it in the episode where she regresses, and she's
that's
like,
true.
Computer raised, you have to do it by 3 degrees Celsius.
Okay, maybe that's all that is.
That you can freeze your body like those people did. In
I forgot.
Naked
You're right.
Now.
We do that. I feel like there's other places where people's quarters get like hotter or colder than they want them to, though, because the whole ship changes. But maybe I'm wrong about that.
That might just be a life support
maybe that's
thing.
a thermostat. Maybe it has that many buttons just for being a thermostat.
Saddle up.
So it's weird. You would think there would be a Western episode in every Star Trek series, given how often it does come up, but there's not. There's 3. We don't do it anywhere in DS9, even though we do 007 stuff, and we've got all those references to the Battle of the Alamo, but we never actually go into it.
No, we never go in there.
But we don't do it there, and we don't do it in Voyager. We do it in TOS, we do it here, and we do it in Enterprise. North Star. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's really bad.
North Star.
And I want to say Manny Koto made that episode. I want to say that was the first thing he did, but I could be wrong about that. I'm sorry, what?
Living like they're in the West, isn't it?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
And that's the only time we do that. Yeah, they made that, I guess...
like Firefly. They're like copying Firefly.
I guess chronologically that makes that the first, like, Earth-like planet episode. Right. Chronologically.
I have
they were aliens.
Always loved this
weren't they?
orchestral music for this theme. Jerry Goldsmith.
Yep. I'm sorry, Adam. What were you saying?
I said they were aliens, weren't they? They weren't like human settlers living like.
No, that was one of those. And TOS would do that kind of thing, but where like they didn't get the idea from us in the first place, so it makes it quirkier.
Right. It was Gene Roddenberry's save the studio money by having planets like Earth.
To be fair, Bread and Circuses is that way too, where it's like, you know,
I like Bread and Circuses. I do too. Implemented in that one though.
I mean, but it is the same sort of thing where it's like, how'd you get so close to Rome?
It doesn't make any sense.
Just like, how'd you get so close to the Old West? Yeah.
So is this the Paramount backlot?
I mean, I'm sure.
It's a backlot somewhere. Or one of those Old West, like, movie branches, maybe, if those still existed by the 90s. I don't know, you know, where they used to go out to the Hollywood Hills. Like where the Manson family lived.
Austin, Alexander is a boy. Worf doesn't have a daughter. That's his son.
Boy, that's a real Trekspert right there.
Well, remember, he's only seen, like, 11 episodes of the show, so he wrote, whoa, there's a new intro, and Worf has a daughter. No, he doesn't.
Has he seen more other Trek besides TNG?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's all he knows, is half the first season of TNG.
The Ancient West.
He hasn't even gotten to Conspiracy yet. Yeah, but I still don't like that anytime we call something ancient. That's not actually
only a
ancient.
few years
Not what that word means, you guys.
Yeah, I don't really call, you know, the 17th century ancient or whatever when I talk about it.
Right.
Is that Jeff? The Jeff is here. It's my stepdad. Hey, Jeff. How you doing, man?
Hello.
He says, I wonder if Roddenberry used to rummage through Paramount storage looking for ideas. Hey, a bunch of stuff from a movie about ancient Rome. Let's send Kirk to ancient Rome.
To be, World War II stuff.
To be fair, Bread and Circuses was not a Roddenberry idea. I forget who wrote that, but that I don't believe that was a Roddenberry episode.
Did Roddenberry write Patterns of Force?
No, he didn't. I was listening to a book the other day about TOS history, and both of those came up, and it was talked about that he didn't work on them, but I forget who on both of those. I would have to look that up.
They went and raided the Hogan's Heroes wardrobe for that episode.
I think Patterns of Force may have been a Gene Coon thing.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. We'll have to get Jeff in here for one of these days.
So whenever he gets to like link to the computer, he turns his head to one side as if that's like a part of program, like something that would intrinsically or robotically tell. Anybody.
It's so they can show off their expensive prosthetic, Brandon.
Well, yes, but we've already seen some of that with close-ups and everything. But like he does it anytime he like gets a computer link up.
Just to visualize.
Yeah,
it's just an acting choice. Yeah, and he's done that going all the way back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Have a little talk with Mr.
So he mentions Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, nice bits of continuity in this episode, because Barkley is kind of our resident, like holodeck guru.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the same season that will bring back Moriarty, which is also related to Reginald Barkley.
Yes.
I want to know who that guy is.
This is one of those episodes that I didn't see when I was a kid and didn't find out about until much, much later.
Oh, yeah.
So what I like in episodes like this is that we have other things going on in other areas of the holodeck program in which people have not entered yet. So like that exchange was going on inside the saloon, and they're not even in there. But it's all
that
part
was interesting.
Of the
Why was that Why was that playing? Why was that cutscene playing?
Exactly.
Nobody was there.
Well, in case you walked in on it.
Right. But that's just the thing. It's like that's how a program like that.
It's like an open world game. Yeah. You know, all those things are, all the scripts are running.
You can hear the voices as you get closer.
I'm fine with that, because the way I would interpret that is, it's not visually going to be represented until they walk in there, because the room is only so big, but like the processor would be running those scenes, and then to have them all going in real time, I would think.
That's a cool effect.
So that is cool. So am I remembering this right, that this is going to be one of those rare holodeck TNG episodes where the holodeck is actually not trying to kill us and we're not stuck in it or anything?
No, it tries to kill him.
Does it? Is it one of those? That's right. But it's not the holodeck itself, though, right? Isn't it just Data?
No, it's because Data's program.
Data
infests the
holodeck with his brain.
Oh, that's what it is. And then everybody is Data, just because we're so obsessed in the show with letting Brent Spiner play 19 characters at one time.
Well, careful. There might be people who haven't seen the episode before.
That's right. You're the one that just gave everything away about the episode.
And of course the door always locks.
And we don't care about spoilers with a thing like this, Brandon. But I just think it's hilarious that you just broke down what happens in the episode.
Well, I mean, and
then all I said was Brent Spiner's going to play a lot scared. Oh my God! Wait a minute! People might not have seen this one. After you just gave us a synopsis.
But I didn't say that he becomes everybody.
Okay, you said other things.
Well, we already mentioned that everything is running through Data. They wanted to try the processes.
Right, but it's more of a spoiler that it's going to kill us.
Well, you told
me that.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my God, Brandon! If you cared that much about spoilers, you would have said, "Oh, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you that." I want you to find out
later. Honestly,
by the title of the episode.
Good Lord, Brandon! We don't care about spoilers and commentaries, man.
I understand that.
Apparently not.
Sheriff Worf.
Yeah, I'm not going to have insights about this episode, just so you guys know. I don't remember.
There's the smoke.
I know it's a Western thing, and I know Patrick Stewart directed it, and I remember Durango. And I now remember that Data is going to play a bunch of different characters.
I think they should just not ever let anyone in the holodeck, considering how many times people almost die in it.
And then you wonder if that's happening on a bunch of other ships all the time. Like Voyager shouldn't even have one at the point that launches. It's nice to see.
It happens on Voyager, and it even happens on Deep Space Nine with Quark's Cardassian holosuite.
It's nice to see Worf kind of kick back a little bit. Like, he's not conventionally enjoying himself, but I think he comes to sort of have fun with his son, and that's kind of nice and touching, especially since it's always impressive when they can make me enjoy this relationship at all, because I don't tend to like Alexander, and I don't think the kid's great.
I heard somebody said, I don't know who it was, I can't remember what producer it was, said that they were going to get rid of Alexander, but like his mom liked Alexander, so that's why they kept him on the show.
That's one of those things that you figured would not, because I was talking earlier about how the show is kind of afraid of changing up the status quo too much, but that is a thing that is a change of status quo that sticks. And you'd think that we would like introduce Alexander, and then it would be one of those like we'll do follow-ups, but it's not going to be an all the time thing, and we have like different swaths of the show where he's there and then he leaves and then he comes back, kind of like Wesley Crusher. We just do this with children. I also wonder if timeline-wise, Wesley Crusher is actually only 4 years old, like, or like 2 or 3, like Alexander.
That
I'm just kidding.
looked like a Jupiter.
It looks like a Jupiter.
Yeah, like a gas giant.
Adam, I think you're right. I think we got to go side profile so that we can really see all the bells and whistles they put in the side of his head.
Well, it was really cool how they did all those little LEDs and.
And it looks
a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money, Brandon.
Oh, look, there's a photocopy next to him.
Jeff says the holodeck is kind of like the TOS episodes where they found a perfect, peaceful society. Immediately there's going to be a computer in charge, and Kirk will kill it. I mean, to be fair, there are episodes where we go to the holodeck and it doesn't try to kill us, or we're not trapped inside of it. But usually, like Voyager does more episodes where we actually spend a lot of time in the holodeck, but it's not actually dangerous. Anytime we do it in TNG, where we're just hanging out in there, it's not usually a huge part of the episode.
Right.
Sometimes it is, but usually not. It'll be like a teaser.
Yeah. Like, it'll be them doing their Shakespeare play at the beginning of the episode.
Although I really like it in
Holodeck
Pursuits, because that's an episode that's very holodeck heavy and about somebody who's obsessed with the holodeck and has a psychosis about it, but the holodeck does not trap us and he's not trying to kill us.
Right.
Cinematographic, why did YouTube try to block your comment, "Shut up, Alexander"? You can't say "shut up" without my approval. Okay.
No, it's Alexander. Nobody likes him.
You're bullying a child.
Oh, I see. It's child shaming.
It's child shaming.
I'm fine with that, by the way. I just my own personal rules. If you want to child shame on this channel, I have no problem with that. Go right ahead. Knock yourself out. Don't talk about Star Wars during Star Trek Club, but feel free to child shame. Yeah, I don't remember any of the guest stars in this episode because eventually they just all become Data.
I don't think any of them are of note.
Yeah, none of these people are memorable. When your paw comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes without saying, but I think part of the appeal of the comedy of this episode is that Worf just does not fit into this kind of setup at all.
I like that Worf just jumps to executing him.
Well, that's just consistent with Worf's character, yeah. Troy needed this kind of treatment bad, and I just wish we'd done this kind of thing to her earlier in the series, where she's kicking back and relaxing and having a good time and not taking herself too darn seriously.
Right.
And she's starting to lose the silly accent a little bit, too.
Yeah. Her accent's so bad, like at the beginning of the show.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to have to spend the rest of
disabled Captain.
I'm going to have to spend the rest of this club meeting just approving people saying shut up now. Fantastic.
Counselor Durango, when he says that, like, Worf, this just shows how Worf has trouble turning off his command, you know? I mean, like, if
he can't break ranks.
If he decides that he wants to go on the holodeck and work on a Bat'leth program, but even that is more, inline, focused, determined.
Well, and it's isolated, and it's a thing that he would do out of the holodeck if he was able to, right?
Yes,
like, he's only doing that there because it gives him something to fight that's not dangerous, that
right.
He doesn't have to
he just can't
spill blood on the floor, and it's fine.
Counselor Durango.
No, she's great in this. I never think of this as one of the better Troy episodes, but it absolutely
is. Yeah.
You know, it's no face of the enemy, but it's also not a character piece for Troy. She's a really fun supporting character in this.
I also like how she's simultaneously surprised by bits of the program, but she's also done a little bit of research on the character.
It's going to be a full-time job.
It says
approving Shut Up. What's weird is half the Shut Ups it's allowed you to have.
About,
half of
she was like a fan of the Old West, they said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that about Patrick Stewart? Or
no,
they said Troy was a fan of the Old West, her character.
Yeah, and that's weird. I don't know how she got to that. Did she mention something about like her father or something?
Maybe that's what it
was.
I can't remember.
Mentioned it as far as I know.
That's probably what it was. Yeah. It does sometimes read a little bit easy when too many characters are like really familiar with 19th century or 20th century culture.
Right.
And it doesn't go along with the ancient thing. Like, you can't in the same episode say ancient and anybody is like really into this. I have a tough time with that.
Right.
Because you'll find characters all over Star Trek that are, you know, really into, like, movies of that period or, you know, mystery books of that of a particular period. You know, really, there's this, like, 200-year history of Earth that's, like, the only time anybody cares about because it's, you know, our recent history.
Yeah, why aren't there anybody, like, why is nobody, like, I'm a big fan of the 23rd century and going doing TOS stuff in the holodeck, yeah?
Jeff says guest starring C sharp, A minus, natural, and E flat. That's fantastic.
Whoa.
Jeff's a musician, so he immediately looks at the sheet music and can tell you everything about it.
Do you think he replicated like real flowers, or did he replicate silk flowers?
That's a great question. Or did they come out of the Arboretum?
Oh yeah.
See, they might have grown those.
So did she just take the table? Oh, it's a completely different room, but obviously the same room.
They're actors, Brandon.
It's the observation lounge, but with the wall taken in.
How do you like the fact that Picard said he's not much of an actor earlier in the episode?
I don't like that.
No?
No, I don't. It's always been weird to me because he is too into like plays in Shakespeare and stuff, and I get that he doesn't like to be in front of people, but like there's I don't know, there's too many examples. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess he never does like straight up get up and get in front of. Maybe it is okay. Maybe this is kind of his character.
Callback.
It's certainly
back to
consistent when we get to lessons, and he doesn't like doing music in front of people either. No, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, and how they know it's a fake Picard when he starts singing.
The example I almost went to is a place where it's a holographic version of Picard and not actually Picard, and I had forgotten that. So no, I guess it is consistent. I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
There's nice linear chip. And
I was saying this was a good.
That's unusual.
That was a good callback. They had Ode to Spot was what came up on the pad there.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so much little continuity things in this particular episode.
Yeah.
Those were extremely 90s circuit
really
boards.
Simple circuit boards.
Yeah.
They look like the back of Game Boys.
They do, and they look nothing like the internal structure of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Which all that technology would be built upon similar that was straight up old circuitry.
No, nothing in the Enterprise should look like it came from Radio Shack.
No.
Like, do you remember when we got that Sega handheld open recently? Like, it looks like the back of that thing.
Yep.
Like a Game Gear?
The Game Gear, yeah, thank you. yeah, I bought a Game Gear recently. I found a working one finally, and just to have it.
Child kidnapping. Oh, now they're in the Temple of Doom.
Brandon, do you
maybe
think
this is where the DeLorean is buried?
I was about to make a Back to the Future reference. Yeah, I was gonna say, Brandon, do you think that this conflict is over a matter of $80?
I think that's next door on the Paramount lot. Actually,
My data
no.
over a matter of $80.
Or
well, that was
Universal,
friends.
Lot. That's what I meant to say. Universal lot.
This Mad Dog data.
That's hilarious.
Senor Frank.
He does his killing before breakfast.
Alexander's a gutless yellow pie slinger.
Pie slinger!
Spot.
So the fact that Data left his imprint on the systems of the Enterprise is fairly consistent with how we do like Android interfaces with, you know, like even when Data's with why am I drawing a blank on his name right now? His grandpa gets into the Enterprise systems and Graves, Ira Graves, thank you. It tracks fairly well, and I appreciate that.
Stephen Murphy not thinking fourth dimensionally.
I want to know if that Bones Eye in Data's quarters is still alive, if someone still takes care of it, or if it was just a prop.
They just threw it in the trash afterwards.
They better not have. Those things will live for a very, very long time.
Well, now after what you said earlier, I'm wondering if that's replicated or if it came from the Arboretum.
You little varmint.
The cats do that even in the 24th century.
They like to do at least one episode like this a season, I feel like, so that Brent Spiner can stretch his legs and do different things besides just being an emotionless robot. Every time we do an episode like this, I'm reminded again of what Spiner is like in other roles and like in real life, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. His personality comes out a little bit, and you see just like how great he really is as Data, because for 188 episodes, Brent Spiner completely disappears from that character.
Yeah.
That is one of like 19 different cats that played Spot.
Yeah, it's not even they have like an Abyssinian cat playing Spot the first time, and then they change it to a tabby cat.
At least once it's a tabby, it stays a tabby. Now, it doesn't always retain the same gender in scripts, but it does continue to kind of look the same.
It's a tabby, yes, exactly.
So that's good.
Yes. This ain't Kansas City.
This is Kansas City. I learned recently that at least some of Fargo, that TV series, takes place in Kansas City.
New season takes place in Kansas City. And it ties into the mafia that came up in the second season, where it's the Kansas City Mafia.
I'm very curious to watch that now that I know that. I didn't know you were watching it. Is it worth looking at?
I watched it. Yeah, it was really good. I haven't watched the new episodes yet. They just aired last night.
Busted Sim, no. Usually, you guys aren't able to post super chats, but you can send me an email or send me a message on Facebook or something. My email address is in the information tab on YouTube.
Issues. The Nikkei.
So, Brandon, I feel like they tackle the Old West here, and this makes a lot of sense because it's a really over the top fictional Old West from like somebody's imagination. So it's like like a pocketbook, kind of Old West. But I feel like they like a dollar. Yeah, they tackle it a lot like Back to the Future did, where it's like that idealized, like this is nothing like what the Old West.
Oh sure,
was like. We're not even trying to do that. Just like the way they handle dime store mysteries and stuff like that.
He's not in the Old West. He's in a Western.
Exactly. Sure.
Yeah.
But there are Western movies that are more period accurate, at least in their
more
looks,
realistic
than this kind of thing.
He's like the cliche one. That's like what Marty said when he went back in part 3. I'm in a Western.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I almost wish they'd gone all the way like they did later on with Captain Proton and Voyager and made this black and white. I think that could have been pretty cool.
Or they could have made it more, or they could have gone like real Technicolor looking and stuff.
Yeah, or like sepia tones.
Yeah. The really high saturated color. I think they're kind of limited on what they could do with the TV budget, though.
So he said, I ain't in the mood. He used that. I didn't realize that.
Which is funny, because in this day and age, that doesn't cost anything.
No.
You know what I mean?
And it would have. And the problem was, I don't know how well it would have translated with the whole videotape master of the episode that aired, before the remastering.
But yeah, Brandon, that makes sense because it's not actually Data,
right?
And that's so
how
they can have contractions,
off. That's one of the
it's nice that they make that a plot point, yeah.
Off, yeah.
Yeah,
don't you think I already tried that, Deanna?
It must be off.
Security's in front of you.
Why is it that the door always locks? That's the thing that always breaks. Whenever the holodeck breaks, the door locks.
Oh, Busted Sim, if you sent that before tonight, I may have gotten it, but I did not notice it. I'll go back and check, or you can send it again. Sorry about that.
You'd think by this point they'd have a manual override that would be like the existence would show up in every program.
I didn't notice it, but it's probably in there. Thanks for doing that.
We're like 2/3 of the way into the episode now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it took that long for the whole data reveal.
This is one of those premises that is more about kind of letting these actors like stretch their legs and have fun and mess around with costumes and things,
Right.
than it is about anything. So I mean, I'm not saying that we're not telling a story. It might be a little bit Saturday morning cartoon, but I mean we are certainly telling some kind of a story. But there's not really 45 minutes of drama here. Like you're gonna have to take your time to set it up. But I don't think viewers minded that with this particular material.
Right.
$2 super chat from Mr. Roboto. Theory: the reason Q came to them was based on tech. I don't know what you mean by that. Based on tech.
Tech war.
Okay. Yeah, I would just need you to elaborate. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So like, well, Q found the Federation because they ventured out further into space than they ever had before with their technology.
Q already knew about the Federation.
That's true.
I mean, to your point.
Maybe he
earlier
means that like
Quinn,
he deemed to
like
talk
we had
to
a
them
Q
at
that
point,
went back to Earth, like going all the way back to the
Right.
Civil War. So yeah, I don't know.
But maybe he means
they
deemed to reveal themselves once they reach this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
The advancement. You've gone too far.
Yeah, I mean that's a given that it has to do with the fact that we built technology that lets us go places that we're not ready to go yet. Jeff, seems like it would be a basic safety feature. When anything goes wrong at all, the holodeck door unlocks.
Opened. Yes, just do that.
Yeah.
That's the simplest fix. If the security, if the whatever they're called, safety protocols go off, open the door automatically. Have that be.
And then later, when we don't act like it's unsafe or takes too much power, site-to-site transport immediately.
Yes.
Just take your bite out of there.
Or just abort the program or whatever. If something immediate.
They have
like no fail-safe.
So part of the reason I think this episode is successful as it is as a comedy episode is because everybody continues to play it straight even when they're doing things that are inherently funny. Like Riker just breaks into an accent and like nobody says anything about it. It's really funny. He's just like, you just said I reckon, and like everybody's straight faced, does not faze anyone in the scene. It's great.
Ew.
This one is honestly a little silly for my taste. Like,
yeah, it is.
So if
it's fun.
Normal
I don't dislike it, but I never think to turn it on because it's going a little too far for my taste.
Of the people trapped in the holodeck episodes, it's probably middle of the road for me.
And coming as late as it does sort of scream like, well, I guess we got to do this premise because we've kind of run out of some things.
His arms are. Holy cow.
Yeah, yep. I'm pretty sure that's fake.
I was going to say
why
that.
Why would you do him up that hairy?
Because they're trying to make him look like he's unkept.
Yeah, but I'm unkept and I'm not that like
It's
that.
all exaggerated, Brandon. It's another data. Like,
no, I know, but that just was like seeing it big on this big screen. I never would have noticed that before.
Tom's $2 super chat. I feel like she should have said should end, not will end. I must have missed the line. I don't know what we're talking about.
Jay, what's your favorite, Brandon, what are your favorite Trapped in the Holodeck episodes?
Well, this has got to be one of them. Another one is one of the Captain Proton episodes.
Yeah.
Bright Chaotica.
Yeah. And it's definitely good. And what? Trying to think of another one. Just one of the Moriarty one.
Moriarty one, yeah.
Mr. Roboto, $2 super chat. The holodeck is very secure. or has secured doors, why not use them as cells? Well, they seem to take up a lot of power.
I mean, they can have them turned off and just put people in there.
Yeah, like I guess you could do that if you ran out of brigs, but I mean, a brig is basically like a holodeck without holograms. Like,
well, we talked about that in that Voyager episode. Why did they just? That must be why they didn't make a brig. I guess it was less energy to replicate that entire jail cell in that Voyager episode we watched than to just turn the holodeck on temporarily.
That's a really good point. Yeah, but I mean, if power was no object and you had enough space to do lots of holodecks, like that would be I never thought of that, but to Mr. Robato's point, like that could be an interesting way to incarcerate people, because if they didn't have any ability to tell the holodeck what to do, you could make a cell anything you wanted it to be, and you could make it like really, really secure. You could use more than just a force field. You could put somebody behind like a locked door, behind a force field, behind another locked door, behind a gate. But you know what I mean? Like it'd be really easy to have like so much security that nobody had any chance of getting out of that. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're in a holodeck, considering how often it goes wrong, it might automatically be assumed that they're not getting out.
Or you could just put them in like the desert or something like that, and then and then turn off the audio so they can't talk their way out.
I think my favorite holodeck episode, if it counts, is Phantasms. I always think of that as a holodeck episode.
That's a good one, yeah, I like that one.
So Eli just said a minute ago that his dad asked Eli, "Who's the stranger?" And he goes, "I don't know. She ain't said her name." She literally said her name because she goes, "It's Durango."
She's not paying attention, that guy.
Counselor Durango.
It's Counselor Durango.
I like our man Bashir a lot, too.
Also, what is it with Troy and Worf and Alexander in the holodeck?
Yeah, it's always
like that's a thing.
And when they go to that weird planet that weird program
with the mud bath.
I
hate that. Bath, I hate it so much.
I feel like Alexander would have liked the Fodder program.
What is wrong with those freaks? Worf was totally in the right to be.
I think the Fodder program would have been too tame for Alexander, Brandon. Like,
yes,
but he liked that.
He would have been like, "Oh, that's so kiddish."
With the little bubble.
Awful.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
it
wasn't like a little kid's storybook program. It has nothing to do with Fodder at all. Like, what about that makes you think he liked Fodder? I'm just saying. Like, I can see that going either way. I also don't think that that's a character that's like especially well drawn. I have no idea what that kid likes.
What he likes. When Worf punches that bubble, that's the best part of that whole episode.
Jeff.
On the Blu-ray set that the inside of the box, they have that little bubble guy. In there, like, I don't know why.
That's weird. Jeff says they could have locked Khan in a holodeck and then asked the program to divide by 0 or something.
That's something Barclay would have done.
Oh, I like this too. He also says, I want the brig to have doors like the layers of doors in Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah. In the fire.
And then, like, if you want to leave, you can, but it takes you to a movie theater that forces you to watch crappy films. That's all you can do with the brig. You can go watch really crappy movies and talk over them, or you can sit in the brig. That's what you can do. Something I learned recently reading the 50-Year Mission. I'm finally going through that first book, so I've gone through the whole section on TOS now, and apparently the brig was like an anti-Roddenberry notion. Like, he didn't like the idea that in the future we would still incarcerate people at all. So you notice we don't have brigs until after Roddenberry's not involved anymore.
That totally plays with stuff said in Dagger of the Mind, and what's the one with the other prison episode of TOS, the one with
third season with Yvonne Craig.
Yeah, Lord Garth.
Yeah. I know what it is.
Can't think of what it is now. Lord Garth. Yeah,
but
they talk about this is the last prison in the entire galaxy left.
Yeah,
and only these people who are seriously mentally ill are in it, and it's more like Club Med than a prison.
Yeah, and like I never considered that. Like, TOS doesn't have a brig.
Yeah.
And TNG didn't use it much until after Roddenberry passed.
I mean, I guess TOS TOS did have a holding cell thing because
Did it?
they put in the mirror.
Oh, that's true.
And mirror. And
yeah, I guess there was that. Okay, but we didn't use it all. Like once you get to Voyager, we use it all the time.
Yeah, because Janeway was always throwing people in that thing.
And it's fine in DS9 because it's a Cardassian space station. Not that I'm saying I have a problem with the idea that there would be a brig. Like,
and plus that they weren't the Odo was a Bajoran officer. You know,
this
carrying
is a
out
really cool
Bajoran law. So they might have had different penal systems.
I forget did we throw those Klingons in, or Klingons, excuse me, did we throw those Ferengi in the brig in Perfect Mate? What did we do with them?
I don't remember what happened to them. I think
they got caught for trying to steal her.
Kind of a thing or something.
I just don't remember. Whom Gods Destroy, thank you. I don't know why I can never think of that. That is my wife's favorite TOS episode.
Lord God.
Lord God.
I will kill you with my bare hands.
Bussim $5 super chat. Oh, thanks, man. You didn't have to do that. He resent the link, so I'll take a look at that later. That's that list that he's been trying to send me. So thanks a bunch for that. And he said disaster if it's not on the list. I don't think disaster is currently on the list. I just showed that to my kids the other day, and they loved it. The executive officer in charge of radishes.
Patterson Supra. That is the character's name.
Wow, Supra.
Yes.
I bow to you for remembering that crap. That did not stay with me.
I don't know why, because I remember, and they came up all weird.
Yeah.
So basically,
I planted it in some dirt, and it came up all weird.
Right. So Worf's basically doing what Clint Eastwood did at the end of Fistful of Dollars, and what Marty McFly does at the end of Back to the Future Part 3.
That's exactly right. It's a callback to a callback to another callback to, I think, even another callback.
Movie all of a sudden. Look at the slow motion.
I wonder how many times they had to shoot that one.
I forgot about the comm badge that he's got linked up to everything on his belt. And then that insane giant handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Episodes like this should just be renamed to Screwing Around.
Hijinks.
Old West hijinks. Remember in Back to the Future 3 when he can't count to 7? 7!
All right, come on out.
Austin, oh my god, this is so silly. Yeah, like, it's really entertaining. Like, if we did this kind of thing, like, too often, it would, like, really overstay its welcome, and you'd be like, you know, I can't take this show seriously at all anymore. Like, the latter seasons of Xena. But, like, this never completely degenerates into this kind of thing, so it's more okay when we do it.
A whole episode that's in, like, modern day or something like that at one point, some crazy thing.
Oh yeah,
I remember reading about it.
No, that's like a run of episodes that like, or not a run of episodes, but that's like a subplot that we keep going back to that starts in Hercules.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
We keep doing follow-up episodes to that, where like the descendants of the gods are like the producers of the TV shows.
Oh wow.
Or something. Yeah, it gets crazy.
That's really weird.
And there's this crazy scene, like our actors, we're talking about Hercules and Xena, our actors end up playing the producers and the actors in the TV show. So there's the scene where Kevin Sorbo and some of the other actors, I think like the guy who plays Ares maybe, are like in a bathroom stalls at urinals whistling the theme to the theme song, the theme song of the show. God. That happens.
Oh, that's insane. That's almost like
the remastered chip shots are so pretty.
They went where DS9 couldn't go with Benny, what's his name? Far Beyond the Stars.
Yeah.
They were talking about ending the show with him on the set of Deep Space Nine as an old man.
Oh my god, that would have broken Star Trek.
That would have broken it.
You can't do that. Because the idea that you would canonicize Benny Russell came up with all this. Benny Russell came up with Deep Space Nine apart from Star Trek. It always kind of drove me crazy. And the only way I can reconcile it is None of that has even the potential for actually being real. Like, the end of that episode, there's supposed to be, like, this meta question of, like, well, you don't know if you're in the imagination of somebody else, but I do with that because Benny Russell didn't come up with Captain Kirk.
Right.
Like, DS9's a spin-off!
They kind of copped out then with the, it was like a Pa Wraith thing or whatever.
Yeah. Busted Sim. Adam can remember the name of the Radish kid, but not Benny Russell.
I couldn't remember. I remember Benny. I can't remember his name. I always just remember him as Brother Benny.
Write the words, Brother Benny. Write the words.
Can't remember his name. I don't know why I can't remember. Okay, Patterson Supra is a much more memorable name than Benny Russell.
Yeah, it's like Senator Pardak or...
Okay, I want to ask Jay if you like this at the end here, what they do. I don't know if you remember.
Is there another scene?
Here they go. Watch this.
Oh, I figured they just flew away.
No, watch. They had the Enterprise going off into the sunset.
Oh. You know what?
Moon?
You had to explain that to me before I would have even thought of it. So yeah, it's
hilarious.
fine. It's fine. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Wow.
Like, it's really obvious when you say it out loud. It makes me feel like a freaking stupid person, but... No, I don't have a problem with that. Because I didn't immediately go... You know, it's not like... And then the eagle represented freedom. Like, I'm not thinking about it. I don't know. But I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of those memorable names that, like, whenever I bring them up, people are impressed with me. But I'm just like, I'm not going to forget Simon Tarses. Like, it's just a memorable name.
Yeah.
So, apparently, part of that episode was shot at Universal at their 6 Points, Texas backlot.
Which means they shot it in the same place where they shot the end of Back to the Future 3. Wow.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 6 Points, Texas is so
Cool.
named because it consists of 6 streets that all converge on one point. And in the old days, they used to film up to 6 movies simultaneously there.
Interesting.
They'd have
They would do
6
the
storylines going on.
cheapo westerns, serials and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because, like, the Western genre got, like, ubiquitous with film almost for a while. It was just, like, there were Westerns and then some other stuff. It feels like, anyway. Television, maybe more so.
My high school history teacher.
That's what killed westerns, was TV.
Well, it was so cheap because you'd have something built on a backlot like
Right.
that, and then you didn't have to build all that much.
My high school's history teacher used to talk about the fact that what we think of as the Old West and for Westerns was only a period of 40 years
Yeah.
historically.
Yeah.
And that's just funny because we have all this stuff on the... Like, the Western has been so romanticized over the years, over the decades.
Have you ever seen Bonanza, Jay? It's
Yeah,
so
not in a
boring.
long time.
It's so boring. It's terrible.
Let's go back to the wheel, and we're going to spend one more time and see what our last episode for the evening is. Here we go.
What do we got?
It's going to be Beyond. No.
I hope not. We'd have...
Conspiracy.
We already did Conspiracy.
Did Conspiracy.
Yep, that I need to take off the wheel. Oops. Okay, let's try again.
William Bashir is on there twice, it looked like.
Oh, good.
Conspiracy.
Awesome.
Again.
Oh, no, the game.
Oh, no.
The
This
game-
is Jason's fault.
Oh.
Well, you can't win them all, but Jason can, because this is one of Jason's favorite episodes. In fact, let's take another quick break, and I'm going to bring Jason down, because this is one of his favorite epissodes, and he needs to be here for this one. So we'll go ahead and get things rigged up for my wife upstairs, and then I'll bring Jason down so that he can watch it with us. So everybody stick around, won't you? We will be right back after about 4 or 5 minutes. All right, everybody, we're back. Jason's here. He's ready to roll with us.
Yeah, Jason, what's up?
Hello.
Adam, for future reference, you can come back up so that I know that you're here, because you're not going to show up on screen, because I have something else up that I flip it to. So, yeah.
Okay.
That helps me a lot to know if you're back.
Okay.
Okay, guys, this is going to be Season 5, Episode 6 of TNG. Yeah, so Noah says this is one of the silliest episodes. Yeah, we're just watching silly TNG episodes today. That's what we're doing. We just watched Fistful of Datas, and now we're watching The Game. We're going backwards and watching The Game.
Yes, this...
One of my favorite episodes.
And nobody else's.
Yep.
No one knows why.
Everybody saying hi to you, Jason.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Okay, so let me move the camera here. Okay. Brandon,
this
you're
is
right.
the one I got wrong the other day, too, on that question.
Say it again.
I didn't remember what was Naomi Wildman's species.
Katarian. I was going to bring that up, yeah. Yeah, these are the other Katarians, or the first Katarians, where it ends up being like the Trill, where, except the Trill, it's clear that they have to be the same species. This is less clear about that. It may not be.
Does
but...
Naomi Wildman get more episodes?
Well, yeah, she's all over the last couple seasons of Voyager.
Really?
Yeah.
She's a main character.
Recurring, yeah.
Reoccurring.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
This episode has one of my favorite characters in it that didn't get enough to do, and that's Leffler.
I mean, she's fine.
You like
she's
Ashley
one of your favorite
Judd,
characters.
that's why.
No, I mean, I liked Ashley.
So you like the actress, but liking an actress is different than liking a character.
I wish that they could have. I wish that they could have envisioned this earlier and done
She's
stuff with her and Wesley
She's
earlier.
in Darmok briefly.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But she's not featured in another episode, Jason. Yeah.
No.
She is really heavily involved in one of the book series later on, but I can't remember which one. Because it's
like
not
that.
I've read, but...
The one with Mackenzie or whatever. That one. Or...
Calhoun. It might be.
Calhoun,
she might be a New
Calhoun,
Frontier.
yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's a different series. Maybe it is that though. Maybe because he took a lot of like side TNG characters and made them mainstays in that. Like Shelby. Shelby's the first officer in that series. I need to read that. Yeah, good job, you guys, remembering her in Darmok. I had forgotten all about that. You get the sense when she comes back there that maybe they're intending on keeping her around. And...
Well, she's actually in that before this.
That's before this.
That was like her introduction, yeah.
As soon as I said that, I was like, wait a minute, that is before this, isn't it? Oh, that's weird. It's weird that she's introduced before this, and then they make her like a character. That's cool. But she should have come back at least one more time. All right.
Hi, Dagos.
Everybody get it to timestamp 0 and get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody please press play right now.
Do it.
We at least introduced the goofy tone of this episode right away.
Yes, Riker and his Risa.
You're like, oh, this is going to be
Risa.
weird. Like, it would have been disappointing if the rest of this episode was not as odd as this opening.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Riker after this scene.
Yeah.
This is almost like a TMI kind of moment. Like, I don't need to know that he does this with women on planets.
Yeah.
I just don't need to know that. He's just chasing hot chicks around. Like, I don't need to know that.
She took his communicator.
Yeah, and why he had it on his robe, like...
It's got to talk to people.
And I mean... Riker's not an uptight character, and I don't want him to be uptight, but, like, he's having a little bit too much fun with this particular situation, because that ends up being a bit of a liability. Like, you should be like,
apparently
no, you
in Risa,
don't need
they
my
don't have
communicator.
glass, apparently. They just have holes in their buildings for windows. Which, considering that planet's reputation, must make some awkward nights.
Austin says this is already his favorite episode. Just watching this scene. I love introducing people to Star Trek episodes with this show. It's a lot of fun.
Look at that fan on right.
That's a weird
what's going on with that?
It's a space fan.
It's a space fan. Wow. So
Look,
this must be a real building. Maybe a resort.
I'm with you.
It's
Yeah,
Risa.
This is not a set they built. I wouldn't think.
No, yeah.
No, that was a set.
Is it?
You could see the fake sky behind it and stuff. It was just like a blue mat or whatever, It's got to be a set. I'm pretty sure it's probably whatever's left over from Captain's Holiday.
Oh, okay, maybe so. They do. I was with Brand. I thought the architecture of this, like the ceiling and all that, this was probably shot somewhere, but
They may have put up a fake sky, but I'm still thinking it's a real building.
yeah, like just because there's a fake sky doesn't mean they didn't build it.
Certainly possible. This is probably something they had to redo completely for the remaster, because it's all CG.
I wonder. Yeah.
Those graphics.
Well, if it was redone, they did it very faithfully.
Looks like a Commodore Amiga.
That's right. The message
like
of this episode: video games bad.
Looks like it looks like B5 graphics.
It's slightly better than that.
Slightly better.
I'm fine with the social commentary of this episode. I don't think it's necessarily video games bad. Like, it's more just the addictive nature of a thing like this. If you use it wrong, or like, it's more just like technology falling in the wrong hands, right? Like,
right.
More than it's like, no one should be playing video games. I think this probably plays a little bit better now when everybody and their dog plays video games on their phones. Like, this seems like a phone game before it feels like anything we had back then.
Right.
Definitely.
Because it's all adults that get sucked into it. And of course, the other thing, too, is nobody, I think, actually necessarily, like, loves this game. It's immediately a mind control situation.
It gives them a dose of dopamine, and they like it too much.
Yeah, right away you're under the influence.
That's the same thing that scientists are finding these days, that like getting likes on social media actually increases dopamine levels, and so you get addicted to that.
Yeah.
Because you want that continued thing. So when you don't get it, it can actually give you like a mild depression.
Oh, of course, yeah. Just like negative YouTube comments and that kind of thing. Yeah, I can relate to that. I've had many a sleepless, crying night over. I'm starting to get a little depressed right now just thinking about it. I'm just kidding. But the difference with that and something like this is, as soon as the flash happens, it's like you're under a particular influence where, like, that might not even be a fun game to play. There might not be anything about that that's cool. Like, right away, the game tells you this, you love this. It could be anything, you know what I mean? Like, it could show you a picture of a dancing Mr. Potato Head, and you'd be like, oh my god, it's great!
Right, you don't... That's
like,
what always interests me about this, is because
it looks like,
to be a game.
It looks like Pokemon Go, flicking the thing into trying to catch the...
Dago says, I want to play a game where I throw a Frisbee into a tornado.
Yeah.
Frisbee-nado.
The other thing to keep in mind, and we won't talk about this too much because of present company, but obviously there's a lot of like really intentional sexual innuendo, and if you don't think it's intentional, you're just wrong.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Oh,
Zukoff.
in this one.
The Zuka.
Yeah, and this would be one of the last episodes O'Brien could even be in.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, because we're real close to the beginning of DS9, yeah. And he's not going to come back at all to TNG once he's in DS9.
That's true.
He's going to have and he has a little bit of a send-off, and then we're not going to see him again in the show until, the time travel with Farpoint at the end, but...
Yeah,
one cameo,
so I guess he probably lasted through the middle of 6, because that's when
season I think he is in that.
1 premiered, right, of DS9.
Well, I can't remember. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm sorry, what?
I remember for sure
I said I think O'Brien was able to appear through the middle of, maybe halfway through 6. Because that's when DS9 premiered.
Yeah.
So, but we're almost there.
I always think of it as being squarely at the beginning of the season, but it's not.
Yeah, because they had that whole mid-season kind of a thing almost going.
Michael Yee, it's the precursor to Angry Birds. Yeah, it's definitely that sort of thing.
Yes.
Like I said, it reminds me a lot more of modern gaming. Yeah. And obviously there were a lot of really simple like computer games like Minesweeper and stuff like that this could be kind of calling back to.
Right.
At the time. But now it would speak to everyone in a way it wouldn't necessarily at the time. Right. Which is a thing that I think is really easy for young people these days to kind of, not understand and not realize. There was a time where you were a nerd to a lot of people if you were interested in technology, like as a thing, and now we all carry around phones in our pockets. And if you were predicting the iPhone when I was a kid, there were a lot of people that would think that you were like uncool for even thinking that was cool, and those same people now are addicted to that and use it as their own brand.
Oh my God, this is a chocolate
not
thing.
the ice cream
Precisely,
scene.
yeah.
It's the ice cream scene, Dad.
Oh, it's not the ice cream scene. It's a ice cream scene.
No, it's the Troy teaching Riker how to eat chocolate ice cream scene.
It's cringeworthy at best. Yeah, it's rough, but it's not the.
This was written by Braga.
Or Imzadi.
Well, you can't win them all, Braga.
That's
and of
And
course, this is
Susan
written by
Sackett
Braga.
was
Like, is
the-
anybody surprised this is a Braga episode?
No. What the heck kind of dish is that? What is that thing that the ice cream is in? That seems way over the top.
It's
a space dish. I'm gonna say
Dish.
she got really sick of three-dimensional chess because she sucked at it, so she pulled a three-dimensional chessboard out of it, and then part of it she just set on a table and put ice cream in
I
it.
thought you were going to say it's three-dimensional chocolate.
It's three-dimensional chocolate.
Why does your "it's a space blank" always you sound like Patrick Stewart saying it?
Because I'm doing the Plinkett voice, because Plinkett says that about the space photo album in Generations.
Oh.
Why do we need a space photo album?
Oh, because it's got like that rainbow lenticular or whatever.
And then in Nemesis, he goes, "Why do we need space drums? These stupid plastic heads."
Relish every bite. Ew. It's so gross.
Jeff agrees with Jason. The Troy ice cream scene will always be the ice cream scene to me. But there's also 10 chocolate sundaes. Don't forget about 10 chocolate sundaes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is enough. You need to go.
Jeff also says,
calm down,
the-
Troy.
Sexual.
Yeah,
Go take
again,
a cold sonic
sexual
shower.
innuendo all over the place, and
That is just the most cringeworthy thing.
chocolate is a serious thing. What he really just said was better than sex, for the record.
That is not
That's what I
better
said.
than chocolate.
It's just a game.
Well, the game's not better than anything, but, it's dopamine. Okay, that smile is
smile.
creepy as hell, and
know.
I don't know how there's not
That
gifts
no
of
birth
that
slash
everywhere.
ship?
That should have
That's
turned
a no
into a
birth
big
slash
gift
ship, right?
thing. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah, I think she got her. She has a bit of a. Her gums are kind of full.
I forgot that the cadet uniforms had the all-black thing before we get to DS9 and we start doing
Yeah,
regular
they do.
uniforms. I kind of like just keeping that as cadet uniforms.
And-
I kind of wish we
and
hadn't
then-
moved away from that.
Then they get different cadet uniforms in Deep Space Nine where they just make that part gray.
Yeah, they do the gray
But
ones.
they got to differentiate it. You know?
But yeah, we see that first in the First Duty, I want to say.
Yeah. What the first duty is season 4, right?
4 or 5.
5. Well, then the first duty must be after this, because this is the 5th episode of. This is the first time we see Wesley Crusher.
Is it?
Yes, because
This
then
is
it can
before
be
we get the
deal
first
about
duty?
it here.
Oh, it is. That's 19 of the season. Okay, wow, I'm all
Yeah.
over the place with my numbering.
You make a big deal about
That
him
makes
being back.
sense because you'd think that he'd have that Worf thing where like he's ashamed whenever he talks to anybody, except he deserves it.
Okay,
And
that
Worf
was
didn't.
Stupid. That was stupid as all get out right there. He walks into a dark room. They're all sitting around the table in various spots.
Yeah,
He should have been able to see all that.
that's that TV thing where like it's for our benefit.
Sure,
Yeah.
but like, what's all the?
The Worf says, "Pound cake."
Acting. Thanks, Worf. Earlier, Jeff said that this episode is basically the Naked Time, except preachier and with Wesley. No, the Naked Time also has Wesley. Oh,
He's talking
Naked
about the
Now.
Naked
Naked
Time,
Now.
Naked
Okay.
Now.
Okay, but like this already
what's
did
the
the Naked
Naked
Now
Now?
as the Naked
Yeah.
or the Naked Time as the Naked Now. So I guess it's like, are we gonna call this like the Naked Time trilogy at this point? Because you're right, it is a lot like the Naked Time. That's fair. Stephen Murphy, because they still study Latin in the future. Well, they should, though. Jason studies Latin. Tom, $2 super chat. Today is the anniversary of...
Did you see that door? That was the engineering door. What the heck?
Tom, I don't know what that means, man. Tags, first episode, TAGS? Or are you saying TNG? You got proof for super chats, buddy.
Tag?
He must be talking about TNG. Is that true? Is today the anniversary of the first episode of TNG?
Yes, it is. The 28th of September.
Cool.
1987.
Jeff, the naked now.
Naked Boogaloo.
This is really funny going back and watching, knowing what happens in First Duty, where it's like, yeah, you're gonna screw all of this up, Wesley Crusher.
Yeah.
You're gonna get held back. You're gonna be partially responsible for getting a kid killed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back in time right now and just be like, just remember 2 words, okay? Culvered Starburst.
So later I think, don't they introduce a thing on the cadet uniform later where they have like a little pip for what year you are in Starfleet?
At least by DS9 we've got that, because I think they have those when we go to, what is the name of that? Red Squad. I think Red Squad maybe has that.
All right, this is the most unrealistic part of this whole episode.
Where you just don't buy this relationship?
No, not at all. Because I don't believe that Wesley would be able to score.
I second that.
And like he's got this reputation as like a ladies' man or something, all the way back to the Enterprise.
Yeah, you ain't Kirk, but no, she's like a Kirk caliber kind of girl. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, like, I could see her going for a nerd, but not Wesley. I don't know. The affect is wrong.
Stuff about him, like they're like, she's like talking to her friends about him and stuff back on Earth.
Cinematographic, are you like 10 minutes behind us? Riker doesn't know how to eat chocolate ice cream. Are you kidding me? I don't think he knows how to treat it like he's in a bedroom with a girl. I don't think he has that.
Stop shaking hands.
You know they're drifting, Jason.
Boy, we could make a list right now, Brandon, and we wouldn't be able to count all of them on all of our 10 digits either.
Right? This episode is going to be really hard for me to rank because it's an objectively bad episode, but it's also fun. So I don't know how I'm going to rank it.
But like, I don't think you can say because the last episode is not like an episode that we watched was not an episode to be taken seriously. But like, I don't think it's objectively bad. Like, it might be too silly for your taste, like it kind of is for me. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, this is just not a good story.
No,
not a well told story.
The writing in it is really bad, awkward.
Did you think the lighting on the bridge was a little off there?
It might have been, yeah.
For the season.
It's possible. I didn't get a good look at it.
Austin says, this is what happens when we let nerds write hot chicks. I don't disagree with that.
Oh. But yeah, she knows where his switch is. Boom.
Well, I think anybody that was at the trial in season 2 knows where his switch is. But do they have access to their memories when they possess them?
I don't know about that because he only wanted one person to know about it at all.
Oh well, that's right. This isn't a possession, isn't it? Is it? It's just like they're under influence, and so they're gonna do whatever the mandate is. Yeah, so they would still have their memories and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Momentarily, I forgot what was happening.
Look, they used that. This is the second episode in a row where we got to see the fancy prosthetic again.
Yeah.
That's true. There's a lot of things these 2 episodes have in common.
So did that fancy prosthetic...
Good job, Wheel of Star Trek.
Some years ago.
What's that?
So many
did that fancy prosthetic make it to the auction some years ago?
I don't think so.
No idea.
I don't remember that being on the list, but I didn't see everything.
That's a little elaborate there, John Lewis.
Everything, all the props are so elaborate in this episode.
Look at that. Oh, how typical of that era that hair is.
Yeah, with the middle part. That's like Lucas on Sequest had a middle part like that.
Oh, Busta Sim, you're right. That is more of a callback to Data Lore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's where we first... Well, I mean, I guess to maybe both. I can't remember. Is she in the courtroom?
I don't know, but he tells her about his.
Does he? Does he tell her that in data lore? Because I know Lori uses it there, but okay. So so regardless of the courtroom, that's where she would know that from.
And then Riker found out studying Data's schematics.
Okay, so we're gonna bring up Boothby here.
Boothby.
And then introduce him on screen finally, like 11 or 12 episodes after this. That's cool. Again, nice bits of continuity.
Played by Ray Winston, I believe was his name. The guy that he was on My Favorite Martian in the 60s.
And 2 of his 3 appearances, he is not actually
Boothby. You're right.
We see that actor play that character 3 times, and he's only Boothby 1 time.
Right.
You'd think he'd show up one more time, but we never go back to Starfleet Academy. And then he plays him, of course, in The Flash, and he plays him, and I guess the other 2 times are both Voyager. He plays him in the stupid boxing episode.
Yeah, they're Voyager episodes.
Where he's the boxing coach. What was it, The Fight?
He's the boxing coach.
The Fight!
I hate that episode. I hate that episode.
Oh, it's the so worst. Boring. I'm gonna put it on the wheel, I think.
No.
We gotta get it out of the way. Should I put it on the wheel? What do you think, Brandon? Should I put the fight on the wheel? Should I do it?
I mean, sure.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Adam might just. No, that's Sukatsu, which is on the board right now. But no, we're talking about the.
No, the one we're doing that thing again. It's just
where you get sucked into an episode and you're not paying any attention to us.
I was hearing bits and pieces.
We're making a show here.
Where Boothby shows up.
That's pretty funny. When he raises his arm like that. That should be the poster for this episode, where they're all standing around staring for a picture that nobody took. Mr. Roboto, $2 super chat. Does Beverly ever ask where Wesley disappeared to? No, it's not like that episode where she like slaps him in the face. Remember that?
She slaps him in the face.
Yeah, I can't remember the context of that. What was that? There's an episode where she's all mad at Wesley for no reason, and then she slaps him in the face, and then she's like, "I just slapped him." Or was that Sarek? That wasn't Sarek, was it?
Slapped him. That's what she said.
Where is that? Where that happened?
Wesley. That's
okay. This is about to not make any sense.
The heck is that episode? I don't even remember. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. I can't remember what that is.
But that's not Sarek, is it?
It might be. It is Sarek.
Is that where it is? Okay. Yeah, that was the only situation I could think of where it would make sense that she would do that, yeah. Where everybody's at each other's throats. Some places where that gets really funny.
I wonder how safe that thing was.
Safer than anything in Enterprise, that's for darn sure.
But no, I mean, but like for the actors.
Handrail!
Do you think anybody ever fell off that?
You can't bring that up without me going, handrail!
Handrail. They said you were good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why does he have a reputation? I mean, he should have a reputation for being like a super genius.
No, he's got a reputation for being some kind of class clown and a ladies' man all of a sudden. Wesley Crusher of all people.
Those go together.
Spray chili sauce. Whatever.
Right, the other
what the hell does that mean?
The other side story to that story is that he used nanites. That's how he accomplished that. I mean, to be fair, like, he's trying to be charming in this episode. It's just not working.
He's coming off as a little bit giddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of cringe in this episode.
Times. I bet it has.
Boy, it's sort of like that early episode where they didn't know what comedy was. This is the version of that. Like, we don't know what romance is.
This is an interesting shot.
This is it is. This is the Joe Piscopo episode if you take out comedy and you replace it with romance.
Cool star cluster. That's neat.
I think you're right. I think they did redo this animation completely.
I think they had to because it was all done in standard def, I bet.
So she comes out of that looking like something just happened to her, and I think that's a little weird.
See, I don't have enough fingers to count all of them.
Yeah, she's doing that in front of her son, and I'm just like, Oh, that's a cringe moment.
He basically walked in on her watching stuff that I can't talk about in front of my kid. Yeah. Why did we bring Jason down for this?
Because it's his favorite episode. One day he'll know what we're talking about.
So Jason, why don't you tell us why you like this episode so much? Because we're sitting here ruining it for you, and I apologize.
Because I watched it a lot when I was little for some reason.
So you have nostalgia for it? Is it just because it's the crew being possessed by video games? Is that why you like it? Or do you like Robin Leffler?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Jason's always been a big fan of cool female characters, and so he latches on to confident ladies.
I like Phasma.
Phasma.
We can't talk about that, but per Jay's shirt.
Right. Yeah. No, you have to leave now. You mentioned Look, it's a no Star Wars zone.
Oh, yeah.
This is my no Star Wars shirt.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's a no Jar Jar Binks shirt.
It's my no Star Wars shirt.
It's a Ghostbusters shirt.
Well, don't...
It's a mashup.
I can't argue with that, can I? Now I want to put this on the side of an Ecto 1.
Why do they got closets in the... Why do they have closets? Just replicate it.
Why wouldn't they have closets? Well, yeah, but people do still sort of get attached to things a little bit, right? Like,
that's true.
Now, it wouldn't be a waste if you always recycled your clothes. Like, you could do that, and it's fine. Like, you can always put matter back into
their clothes.
into the replicator.
Her parents
Where's
are
the
only
laundry
plasma
on this
specialists
ship?
in
Is
the
what I
sector.
want to know.
Keep that in mind.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Adam?
Where's the laundry on this ship?
Well, the clothes will clean themselves.
The clothes.
They put the clothes back into the.
Oh my god! Look at this weird outfit.
Okay, but the point we were just making is, why do you need closets then?
Yeah.
You just have to pay attention to the conversation, Brandon, if you're going to participate in the conversation.
Well,
okay.
I'm not a fan of her hair in this scene.
That's true cinematographic. I do need to make sure to remind Adam that that's Captain Logan the user. Day Goes 279 Canadian. Add the boxing episode if it's as good as this. It's not, but you'll have to super chat, so I have to do it. So
no,
it's his fault. It is Austin's fault.
Wait, the boxing episode?
The
Voyager. Chakotay one.
Yeah. The fight.
I don't even know what even happens in that episode. It's just a bunch of shots.
It's all in his head.
Boxing.
It's a stupid like.
Mind.
Yeah, it's a stupid like hallucination thing.
Hallucination thing. Yeah.
No, it's a waste of time, but we got to do it.
Time. Is that Tranya he's drinking?
Must be. It's very pink.
Well, there's a fly in there. There's a fly. Look on the dish.
Well, that makes no sense. That would be a contamination thing, and they don't have to be freaking out because they picked that up on some planet somewhere.
That would not have shown up before the remaster.
Okay, so it's stupid that guy waited until the doors closed because it was really clear that it was an extra going.
Shot.
Somebody's off to the side going, okay, wait till they leave, wait till they leave. They've left! This episode is stupid. Sorry, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad at Austin.
Guys, they're being all geeky, like, ooh.
Yes, that's right, Jeff. That's the episode where Chipotle fights on the holodeck.
Chipotle.
No, I did it, Day Ghost, because you left the super chat, and we have to tackle it at some point, so might as well put it on there. Maybe it won't come up forever.
I bet it does. Bet it does, Wesley. Oh, look, it's red alert.
Uh-huh.
And everybody facepalm in 3, 2, 1.
Double facepalm. Neuroreceptors.
It's really unfair that we have to pay to get to see this really attractive and decent actress in an episode by watching Wesley Crusher in every scene she's in. Right? Like, that's not fair. That is some kind of sadism there, I think, is what that is. Busted Sim, $5 Canadian. Well, if we're putting evil episodes on the list, Carpenter Street.
No. That's my threat. Don't take that.
Yeah,
away from me.
that's the threat. If nobody leaves a super chat, we already have to watch Carpenter Street. So not in another super chat. I'll be looking at the chat, but pick something else so that you get something on the wheel. But yeah, nobody actually can pick Carpenter Street because that's the threat. That's Adam's thing.
That reminds me of like what would be the reverse if nobody donated to NPR during a pledge drive. Like, we threaten you with this programming if you don't buy the other programming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, one of their more boring shows. Non-stop.
This is always fun to watch with people just because everybody, even if you've seen it before, tends to forget just like how intense the innuendo is and how ridiculous this episode is.
This has one of my favorite shots coming up here. Because it's so goofy looking. When he leaves the room. Get ready for it.
Simographic, his name's not actually Chipotle, it's Chakotay, but Jeff likes to rename all the characters. So Chakotay is Chipotle if you're Jeff, and Tuvok is Tupac.
Yeah.
And there's other ones too.
We also have Netflix and Hulu.
Netflix and Hulu, that's right, I forgot about that. Yeah!
Yeah.
So what is this shirt Pressure's wearing?
Yeah, that's not a Jeff thing. We all came up with that. So I think Hulu was Jason's, wasn't it?
That was Jason.
Uhura is Hulu and Neelix is Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch this shot of Picard. This is amazing. Look at
Busted Sim, you suck! He replaced Carpenter Street with a night in sickbay.
Look, why does he turn around like that? And then look at his face.
360.
Ooh. Too close.
Are we done zooming in on Picard's face?
Nope.
That's
It
great.
kept zooming in for minutes.
So, a night in sickbay.
Yeah. I like that episode for the shot of Porthos in that tank of goo.
Yeah, it's
That's
spectacular. Jeff says he likes the
Miles?
Tupac and Netflix episodes.
Yeah, it is Miles.
Thanks, it's great.
Yeah.
O'Brien just looking like just nothing.
O'Brien is the Scotty stand-in for this episode. That's the face he'd be making right now. That shirt is stupid, and you should change it right away.
Talking about Pressure's shirt? Yeah, I asked about that a minute ago. Like, what's up with it?
It's gross. Sorry, I missed that. It's gross.
And this lady's crazy.
So and once again, she's got kind of a cool shirt. I mean, the whole outfit's weird. I guess it's a dress. No, actually, it looks
okay.
It looks like but she should be a Pink Ranger right now, right? Like it should be morphin' time.
So think of all the backstory we eventually got for O'Brien, about how he's been through the wars and such, and then we see him in this episode, and it's just like,
everybody has different sides to them.
Well, that's true, but like getting addicted by that game, and it's just like it's kind of funny at that point.
Stephen Murphy says Picard has an early version of Cerebro.
Cerebro.
Yeah, it'd be pretty funny if you got in a big round room just so that you could put on the game.
Cartography is.
Stellar cartography, right? Exactly.
It's like the red discs are mutants and the white discs are the humans. You know, I feel that way myself sometimes, where there's a signal breach between my brain and my body.
So why would a medical tricorder read Data's electronic systems?
Because this episode does not care.
I guess not.
Oh, Wesley, still skin and bones.
I think sometimes Braga gets in the same mode that he was in later when he wrote Threshold. Like, I think this has some shades of Threshold.
That's
just in the not giving a crap about.
That's a good graphic.
Yeah, the science stuff.
That looks nice.
Edges, all right. Yeah.
Those are some clean edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Austin. He says this relationship is like Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, very unbelievable.
Shia LaBeouf. He disappeared.
So why are there just these random wires running across the very neat positronic brain that they had to cut those.
Yeah, there's like
those
circuitry,
wires,
but there's like
those
little
tiny
wires,
little
yeah.
micro wires are the only thing severing Data's brain function from the rest of his body. I don't buy
Almost
it.
like they look like they were added for this
That's
plot
all
point.
It takes to sabotage Data. Cutting
Yeah, those
three
cuts were precise on a very imprecise wire.
You know, Tom, you kind of make a good point. He says, "Hey guys, let's do visual drugs. It's called the game." Like, this is less. I think you can read some social commentary with video games here clearly, and especially at this time period when that was a big concern with parents. This is right around the Mortal Kombat debacle and all of that. But it's more of a drug metaphor, obviously.
Yeah. Which they already did in that terrible season 1 episode with the drug planet. Remember that?
Well, maybe I forgot about that.
Try not to smile.
Maybe they're trying to make it better.
No, he's trying to give a smirk.
I wonder if we can get one of those props. Because they made a bunch of them, apparently, for this episode.
What would be the point of keeping those around? You know you're not going to do a follow-up to this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's creepy.
So they're in bed together playing this game, breathing like they are.
Yep.
There's another one.
Yeah.
I never really considered this until we started.
Why am I watching this with my kid? It's uncomfortable.
And they're faking it, too.
Why do you have to say that out loud? Like, duh, you're
Right.
going to hang on to the mock-ups.
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
So I don't remember Wesley having
making
quite so
stuff
many
up.
freckles and moles.
Apparently he hasn't because people know about him. It's a thing, Brandon.
Well, he's got that birthmark she talks about.
Got
for
that
sure.
birthmark.
And I want, what kind of ship is that?
It's Katarian.
It's
That's
they use
that's
it's
right.
Katarian.
Duh.
They use that model going all the way back to season 1. I'm pretty sure. That's the model that they use when they remember that planet with like that ship with like the ball on it in Haven.
Oh my goodness. That's great.
This is another one of those, like, really elaborate ways to take over a ship non-violently, kind of like we had in Conundrum.
Yeah. That was too elaborate.
Which we yeah, this is at least less elaborate than that. Like, you can sort of buy this working.
Yeah.
So, it makes no sense with how this game works that Geordi should have succumbed to it.
That's a really good point.
And
yeah,
they make
that
a
should
point
be
of
yeah.
not showing us Geordi putting the game on.
Yeah, like
it's only talked about. You've got this. I've got this game. You should try.
So she just said Katarians, and according to the subtitles here, at least, it's spelled the same way. And I'm pretty sure that's right if you go back and look at the encyclopedia and Memory Alpha and stuff. That like it's the Katarians. Clearly a totally different species than what they are later. And what's weird is the Katarians, as far as I can tell, seem to be a member species, like a Federation member species by Voyager.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I don't know.
I don't know why they called it that later.
Kirk's girlfriend in Generations likes Katarian eggs, so that's going all the way back.
Yeah,
to...
like they don't look anything like this later,
Yeah.
and more to the point, they're trying to infiltrate the Federation and take over into this, and then later they're just
maybe these
a
people
member
are like
species.
rogue
or at least
people. I don't know.
they're not hated or anything. What?
So really quickly, my mom.
There's a
Whenever
lot.
I'm playing a game on my phone, my mom and I watched this episode together a couple years ago. So every time I'm on my phone playing games, she looks at me and she goes, "Level 47."
Yeah, see, like it works better now. I tend to go more to references like Third Shap.
Third Shap.
I tend to-
Alamarine.
I tend to go to Move Along Home before I go to this. I'd rather watch Move Along Home than this, to be perfectly honest with you.
Move along. Alamarine. Count 2 4. Alamarine. Uh-oh. She's a zombie now.
Oh.
Ooh.
And like this is gonna be a thrilling chase scene.
So he just gave away that he did
The
the
hallways.
side-to-side transporter thing. He should have set up rotating force fields too.
I think you could have made this another, like, spooky horror episode, and, like, with this premise, that would have been the tone to go with, and that's just not what we did.
He was, like, trying to reach at him while he was dematerializing.
So he did a site-to-site, but he literally transported to the transporter pad.
And, like, a single transporter pad.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had that. Where is that? Is it in a corridor somewhere?
I think that must be the other transporter. He was just in the middle of it. That was they wouldn't have built a new transporter set.
Was that actually in a transporter room?
That was the right.
Yeah, that was.
Boy, it sure didn't look like it, but I just glanced over.
They're so fast.
Well, he said transporter room 3, so it must have been.
That's O'Brien's favorite, I think. Number 3.
Noah, this is so stupid. Sorry, Jason.
I would have locked out my transporter program.
Jason, are you horribly unhappy with us? Are you having a different experience with this, or are you still really liking it?
It's still.
Oh,
good.
Look, the Type 1 phaser.
Well, hey, you feel free to like whatever you like, but I was just wondering if maybe being a little bit older watching this now, if you might be like, wait a minute.
So they should know that Wesley would know that that doesn't work.
He can hear the turbo lip.
There's just no suspense here at all. Like, it's so goofy. And also, I'm not with Wesley. Like, I think part of the problem is my not liking this character. If you're watching this in sequence, you're like, oh great, it's the Wesley comes back and visits episode. I hope this doesn't suck, and I hope he doesn't take over and have to save the Enterprise, and he totally does. Like, that's what you don't want a repeat of Evolution the first time he comes back, and that's exactly what this is.
That's not an accurate representation of the saucer section.
At least he didn't make it happen. Wait, what's an accurate
representation? Because it's a circle, and the saucer section is definitely not a circle.
Well, it's basic, whatever.
It's a little too. Everything else is accurate.
HB Haga says, I actually liked Leffler. She could have been a really cool character if she was in the right episode. I think she just gets, I don't know, what coolness is there. Like, what I like about her is buried by the fact that this premise is stupid, or at least the way it's executed, and I'm seeing her completely through Wesley Crusher's lens, you know?
So how are they tracking Wesley? Because he ditched his communicator.
Why does he need to keep pushing that button a million times, Jay? Is that like the elevator button? Where
that's Captain Logan to you. But if it was like her, like learning engineering with Geordi or something, like just put her with any other character. And it didn't have to be a romance thing just because she's attractive, because we introduced her in an episode where we didn't do that. Like, she was just there. Right. So just let her be hot and that not be the point, like 7 of 9. I love that in Star Trek when we do that.
I wonder if that would be weird if Ashley Judd had wound up being on Star Trek, like, permanently.
Yeah.
Open his eyes. I wonder how much that must have sucked to, like, be him in this scene, like, have his eyes forced open like that.
Yeah, like, the last thing I want evoked at the end of this episode is Clockwork Orange, right? Like,
yeah.
It is very clockwork.
Like, oh my god.
Not my beautiful Beethoven.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Busta Sim says Leffler went to the same place as Sonia Gomez, the failed romance plot hell.
Yes, and it's all
She's
over
also in a couple episodes and then unceremoniously just never shows up again.
I don't know that that's updated CG.
It has to be Brandon because they rendered it in standard def initially on videotape. So they had to redo everything that was done in CG.
Fascinating. It just looks exactly as I remember it.
They were trying, I think, to make it look like
Yeah, they just rendered it accurately, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's not that hard to do either.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's, they do it digitally.
Again, those bursts of light, Geordi doesn't see light like that. That should have also had no effect.
Yeah, and what's weird is, like, to your point, they took out they had to come up with a different way to take out Data. They should have done that with Geordi also.
Yes, absolutely. And so, like, also...
You're not a Katarian. You're a liar.
Crusher says that only 2 people know how to do this to Data. Well, with the exception of Wesley himself, he also knows. He should have made a point on that.
Okay, you know what's really weird, though? I never noticed this before. So, these Katarians just have, like, stupid, like, camel lumps on their heads, right? Mm-hmm. But underneath the camel humps, they've got, like, one little, like,
weird,
like, spiky thing. And then the Katarians are going to, later on in Voyager, have spiky things going all the way up their head. It's almost like they evolved them from that and just took the camel humps off and then just put those on. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And just made them sharp. Austin, that was so anticlimactic for a great story like this. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but I always have that problem with you. Freaking Dagos, man.
So, that makes no sense. Picard asks, what about the rest of the crew? And Data goes, we modified all screens to display this. Why did you have to go to the bridge with that light other than the plot?
That's true.
Just done that
that's true. There's more screens in there than anywhere.
You've got the main
Put it on the viewer.
How did Data get back?
The lights in every room could do it.
Wesley,
you know?
as Wesley said, he fixed him.
Couldn't he just program the lights in every single room of the ship to flash?
That's what he did. Yeah, he said we programmed the lights and the computer screens. He should have done that for the bridge too.
They didn't have to go on there, but you wouldn't have the dramatic ending.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe, but they could have. One line would have solved that problem.
Right.
Look, there's that weird window thing where it looks like they're in like an office building.
Yep, it's those
like
shades
a dentist
out
office
into
lobby.
the hallway.
Yeah, I know. I'm not supposed to evoke this because of the shirt I'm wearing, but it's like it's like the opening scene in episode 1 in that ship. Like those vents are everywhere.
Yeah,
it looks just like that.
Is that legal?
Starry-eyed Leffler. Okay, they're lingering a little too long here.
I hate this romance more than I did before after you said what you said earlier, Adam.
Yeah.
Now I hate it even more. Austin, seeing them kiss makes me want to die. That face.
Look, she gave him a page-a-day calendar.
It's got some Far Side cartoons in there.
Got some Far Side cartoons.
Yeah.
Is it the Ship of the Line calendar?
That was the next thing I was going to say. Yeah, you got a different ship on every day. Scenes from episodes.
Yeah, my first law is don't watch this episode anymore. That's Captain Logan's first law.
Of Star Trek.
Yeah. So, Jason, I know you don't like mushy romances, so why do you like this episode?
It's not that mushy.
Okay, but I'm going to ask you again, what do you like about this episode? Besides, you liked it when you were a kid.
When you was a kid.
You just like it? Well, when you were a little kid, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't flying off into the sunset.
That was cool, though. That shot was cool at the end of that episode.
You like that?
Yeah, I love that shot. Of
someone
Fistful of Datas.
Just as woman.
Yeah.
Woman.
Yeah, they were the first ones credited.
She did a great job. Stand-up job, woman.
The person that's like, here, use mine.
Yeah, that was gotta be that lady. It has to be that lady, yeah.
Like, which woman?
I don't know. Probably that one.
That woman or the one in the,
No, that
elevator.
woman. Not that woman.
The 47. The level 47 woman.
No, that was Nurse Ogawa.
That was Nurse
Oh,
Ogawa.
the 47s. Oh, right. My favorite Voyager episode, the 47s. Anyway, let's go ahead and rate now, shall we? Everybody think about 0 to 4. If you've not watched episodes with us here in Star Trek Club, we rate on a scale of 0 to 4. 0 is, dear God, shoot me now. And 4 is, let's do that again. So, we're going to start with... Jason.
Okay.
Do you want to start? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
And then everybody in the comments, feel free to do your ratings as well for each episode. We watched Fistful of Datas, which is silly, and then we watched The Game, which is sillier and way worse. if you're me, but you decide for yourselves, and we'll read everybody's ratings on air, of course. Go ahead.
I would say a fistful of dwarfs is I'd say like a 3.
Yeah.
3.
It's pretty good.
And then what about this one?
Let's see.
After we took what you always say is your favorite episode and just ripped it to shreds while you
it's
sat
not
here
my
and watched
favorite
it.
episode. It's one of my favorite episodes. It would
Does
be
anybody see the goalpost moving?
I'd say like
took
a
it down and threw it in the lake.
2.75?
Yeah.
Okay, well you didn't just, bury it to the depths of hell after we, scraped it all over the place for you while we watched it. So that's good. I'm glad we didn't ruin it for you.
Wait, what was your rating for that one?
2.75.
Oh.
Where are you today, Brandon? It's like half of you is here. Do you want to rate Brandon?
Threw his whole.
No,
you threw his whole
rate
game.
Oh, well, you're
off
going
when
to.
You put him back in the corner there.
Rate Brandon.
So,
Brandon.
For one of your favorite episodes, you gave it a 2.75. That's
He just moved the goalpost.
Yeah. So a 3.5 on a Fistful of Datas and a 2.5 for the game.
Wow, you go all the way to a 3.5 on Fistful of Datas?
Yeah, because it's one of my. I like how
that face.
I like Spiner getting to do a bunch of different stuff. I think it's a little campy. It's a little fun.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
But it's not about Data.
But I like Data's stuff in it. I mean,
He doesn't get anything to do in that episode.
Well, yeah, he just turns into all the bad guys.
Yeah, that's all he does.
That's why it's a Fistful of
Datas. That's
Datas.
not even Data, though.
Well, yeah, sure. So you're going to complain about it because his name's in the title? Like, there's nothing about that.
I know, but...
So, wait. So are you going to be upset if you go back to the...
him.
Listen to me. If you go back to the old Western and you watch A Fistful of Dollars, you're going to be upset because there's not a dollar bill walking around and shooting people at the OK Corral? Like, is that...
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Somebody in there's
got
to have a fistful of dollars.
Like,
that's where they get the title. It's a play on that
If
original title, Jason.
Yeah, so if there's a word in the title that's really prominent, Jason needs that to be the protagonist
Fistful
every time.
Of Datas. I want a fistful of Datas.
There better be a big giant hand in space that picks up data and turns them into many datas.
So yeah. So
I forgot to say it.
Just wait.
I don't particularly
step on
enjoy
me.
the game. But here we are. I've seen it too many times in my life. I could do without it again. But if I ever watch TNG all the way through again, I'm going to watch it again, too. And I assume I'll see it again at some point elsewhere, too. This would be a prime example of I see an episode of Star Trek come on TV and be like, oh, great. Oh, nope, change the channel. I can watch other things than spend another hour.
What was the
of my
rating?
life watching
What was your rating?
He said
number?
2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
He said that up front. What do you say?
I forgot to say. Just kiss on a roof.
Just kiss on a roof. Okay, so Adam, what is your rating?
I give A Fistful of Datas a 2.5 because I feel like the premise was where the holographic characters take on the look of our own, cast is done better in Armand Bashir. And what else? The game. Oh yes, the game. 1. A 1. I give the game a 1.
You were vicious today.
Because
I didn't give it a 0.
I kind of used to call you kind of friend, but now we're not not friends.
See, I still would rather watch the game, I guess, than like half a season 1 is the thing. But I think that has more to do with just like aesthetic and acting choices and stuff. Probably it's a crappy script.
Okay.
It's honestly
like PG.
it's a really good sense of what Voyager will be later, right? Like it's a bad Voyager episode in the middle of TNG. That's what the game is. I'm still not going to go as low as you, just because there's worse. There's enough worse TNG. I'm going to go to 1.5 on the game.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's fair. I get that, but I feel like if I put like 20 of the worst episodes in front of you of TNG, you might consider moving that rating. But
I also have season 1 episodes that I might rate higher than that, even if they're weird and because they're just more interesting to watch.
Yeah, no, that's fair. and like ambitious and maybe a little more
even
thoughtful.
if they're completely crazy.
Yeah, because this was not that. So that's my rating for that for the game. It's a 1.5. We've watched this many times before in my previous club. I don't remember what I rated it back then, but right now it's a 1.5. And then Fistful of Datas, I guess, is a 2.5. I'm in agreement with Adam on that. Let's see what everybody else rated. Busted Sim gave them both a 2.3.
There's a number you don't see even in my ratings.
Austin gave the game a 4 out of 4 because I think he's still being sarcastic. I think he loved it because it was weird and terrible. And he gave a Fistful of Boring a 0 out of 4.
Oh,
Steve
Take
Murphy.
The ratings more seriously, man.
Steve Murphy. Nah, you can't ask Austin to be more serious. Steve Murphy. Fistful of Datas is a 3, and the game is a 1.5.
He'll start to understand.
You don't know Austin.
No, I've met him a few
understand.
times.
You don't know him like I do. He'll never understand. Tom.
I get what
First episode is a 3. Second is a 2. Cinematographic gives the first episode a 2.73 and a 0 out of 4 for the second episode. Noah O. Fistful of Datas 3 out of 4. The game 1.4 out of 4. Sorry, Jason.
1.5 out of 4.
1.5 out of 4. Busted Sim, don't worry, Jason. Some of my favorite episodes are things I also consider average. And JDF, big crowd tonight. Thanks, guys. Fistful of Datas 2.5. The game a 1.
Same thing as Adam.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well, guys, I think that's gonna do it for us this evening.
Would you watch?
Yeah.
The game
We're gonna play this game,
and the Enterprise finale every day of the week, or would you watch the remakes of Lion King and Aladdin every day of the week?
Holy crap. Oh, that's really hard. Now, that's easy if you'd throw Mulan in there, but, boy. I don't know, when you put the last episode of Enterprise in there, that makes it really, really hard. But
you basically strapped him to the bed in Schism.
See-
We've all
that's
been
a
here
bad
before.
situation.
The table was exactly like this.
No matter how you look at it, you're strapped to that table.
I can't. That is,
in Schism.
dude. People ask me questions like that always in the like all the time in the Captain Logan show. That is one of the hardest things anybody's ever asked me. I cannot immediately answer
You
that.
said every day of the week, but for how many weeks? 1 week?
I think I'm still gonna probably go with Star Trek just because like it's all crap, but at least those are shorter. At least it's not 4 hours of that.
Yeah.
But I did really hate Aladdin. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
Aladdin
Mulan.
is bad, and everybody disagrees with me
Mulan
except
was like
for Dad.
offensively bad.
I
like Mulan.
That's a whole other kind of bad.
I thought Mulan was
A
okay.
horse of a different color is what that is. But
I
anyway.
thought Mulan was okay.
Well, everybody, thanks for watching. I might have nightmares tonight, thanks to my son. I guess I deserved that after just picking apart his favorite episode while we were watching it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Brandon, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Adam, thank you for being here. We will see you again probably next week. My father was supposed to be on the show tonight, and he got sick this morning, wasn't able to make it, so that's unfortunate. So hopefully he's able to join us in a week or two.
What the heck are you doing? Oh, your shirt.
Anyway, we'll be back with lots more fun content for you here on Geekvolution this week. Join me again tomorrow night for a new extra episode of the Captain Logan Show. In the meantime, once again, I was Captain Logan. See you next time, guys.
And that was Jason.
Bye,
And that was everyone else. You forgot everyone else.
No, I already counted him down,
We
and
already
you kept
said
talking.
everybody. Yeah.
All right. Later, folks. Bye, everybody.